Geez,
the worst thing about Elden Ring is like I beat it in 2 weeks.
Geez.
Like, and I have a real job, and
then he played the game. No.
Oh no!
Oh, she got him.
Hey, here's a hot take. Melania is not hard. Everybody just sucks.
Down on the clock again. Feel like I'm playing in a game that I can never win. Time is running out, I know I gotta make a choice. So many whispers in my ear that I can't hear my voice. Tell me, will it end the situation that I'm in? Or am I bound to sit alone, drowning in my sins? Get right or get left, what will it be? Time is running out, the blood is flowing down the streets. People need to know we're living in a war zone. Hit the streets with the truth, tell them that it's over.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Loo Bros Podcast. I'm your host, Resident Darrell. Tonight, we have a very special, really awesome group, a full panel. We have Jason Priestley. What's up, brother?
Oh, I hate you. My name isn't fucking Warren.
What's up, Joe? How you doing?
I'm good. Oh, man. Dude, seriously, though, I get called that every day at work.
Dude,
like at least like 2 or 3 families do it in every meeting.
Yes.
So like literally, I don't even like correct them anymore. I just let it happen. So I don't care anymore.
I had one. We went to church last night, and one of my son's friends' moms was in the lobby, and so we started talking to her, and we come to find out we're both chaperoning. Hey, we got a special guest in the house. Bring her on in. Let's go. What's up? Can you hear us?
Hey, she's the coolest one here.
Say, hey, my dad's a nerd. Say, my dad's a total nerd.
I can't believe how big she is, Joe.
I know.
Yeah, she's
as
almost
big as
7
you,
now.
bro. She's taller than you right now.
I know.
I mean, it's because you're sitting on the
She's
floor.
going to replace him in the MCU.
You don't need to
Baby
play. You
face,
just talk.
face
It's right there.
That's
What
right.
games
That
do you
is
like
the
to
new-
play? What video games do you like to play? Your daddy.
Game.
Oh, the LL Dog game. All right. What else?
Say, Daddy, play Hannah Montana with me, please. Oh, I can't see it. You're holding a toy, but I can't see it.
Oh, you're too funny. It doesn't make the noise anymore.
Daddy's trying to fix it. It used to say all different kinds.
But he sucks
What did
at
it
it.
It's John Cena.
He doesn't possess any hand skills.
It's gonna be a joke all episode now. It's just every 5 minutes. There's
Trying to fix it.
all right, you gotta go. Can you close the door on your way out?
Jason's
record.
trying to fix
Gotta
my
go.
toy, guys.
All right, hold on. You gotta go.
All right, well, while Joe is wrestling his daughter and she's beating him up with a John Cena action figure, we'll move over to the culprit who had me call him by his government name. That is Kalai. What's up, Kalai?
Hello, everybody. I've missed everybody.
Every butt. Hello, every butt.
I had the worst week ever.
Hashtag worst week ever.
Oh, well, you kind of knew what was going on, and
Yeah.
I felt really bad. So, I wanted to say to our audience, I was so excited last week. I was like, I'm gonna come record. I'm gonna come join you guys for the Mass Effect. I've played Mass Effect. This is gonna be awesome. And my husband needed to go to the emergency room. I was in the emergency room for 8 hours.
Oof.
I finally went home at 9 a.m. where they admitted him. He had a gallbladder infection. They said we're going to have to take his gallbladder out. They weren't even sure that he might have had, they think he passed a gallbladder stone.
Ugh.
I know. And I had to go back I got like an hour's sleep. I went back Saturday. I went home, got some sleep, went back. I had to take the device that he wears for the cancer off of his head. His head is yellow. And I'm like, oh my God, Jim, this stuff is leaving a residue. Your head is yellow. And the doctor's like, oh no, that's just jaundice from his liver problems. I was like, oh. It's like, great. They're like, we're going to do surgery because they wanted to give him an MRI, but the MRI machine was booked, so they couldn't give him an MRI. So like, we can do surgery, take the gallbladder out. If we don't see any gallstones, he can go home in 24 to 48 hours, knowing that once his liver enzymes come down because they're too high. So I was like, oh, okay. They're like, we'll get lucky if we could like get 24 hours. More realistically, he's probably going to be here at least 48 hours. The next day, they called me. He's like, yep, I'm going home. So, like, by Friday afternoon, he was home.
Awesome. Well, that's good news. We hate that Jim's had such a rough go at it, man. So,
and then
definitely,
those clouds parted and God said, I hate you, Alfalfa.
Well, I think God does hate me because, of course, while I'm taking care of my husband, I then have to make the decision to put my cat down.
Oof. Well, I know, actually, cats are definitely from the devil. So that might actually be a bit of a reprieve.
No,
I'm kidding. I'm telling you.
Yeah, my cat was. But however, I found a really nice place that came into our home and did it for us in the house.
Oh, that's awesome. So when we had to put our Jack Russell down 3 years ago, we had a. Dan's falling apart over there. When we had someone come in and do it because we're like, man, we can't take him. And like,
is it just a guy that comes in with like a 38? And like a grocery bag.
It's an older gentleman that calls them all yeller.
Yes, they actually put a pillow to muffle the sound so our neighbors wouldn't get upset.
Like that's where the rest of the Walmart bags went.
Yeah, he's like, look at the flowers.
He's like, you want I should fix it, boss?
Let me explain something.
Look at the flowers.
Joe, we have to explain something because we're the only two in New Jersey. We don't have bags because, of course, they're banned here in New Jersey.
So you have to pay. So he makes you pay the $1.25 to get a bag from him.
Yes.
Jeez, that's crazy.
He's like the
funny is
Aldi
someone's listening to this show. Someone's listening to the show for the first time. They're like, wait a second. They just very insensitively made fun of their dying pets. Like,
you must be new here.
Well, wait, Jim has already said I'm not allowed to get another cat because we already have 2 cats, which I kind of agree. But if I happen to find another cat, I think I've already got my name for my next pet.
All right, what is it?
Poop sock.
VJJ.
Dude, you did it. CJ just literally, I heard it go all the way from Australia. He just fell out of his chair. So I just hit the desk really hard, right, for dramatic effect, and my little Shih Tzu behind me just freaking jumped.
Doink. Whole body.
All right, so we've introduced Jason, we've introduced Kalai. Now we got the bearded nerd. What's up, Zach? How you doing?
What's going on, baby?
I see that you've been cranking out those reaction videos.
Oh yeah, I missed 2 weeks because of my daughter's birthday, and then work
freaking jerk. Why does she keep having birthdays? Gosh.
Yeah, I know it's crazy.
Is she a 15th century Jew? Why is her birthday 2 weeks long?
So we found that, and then we also found out we found out some good news this week.
You're pregnant?
Huh?
You're pregnant?
Something like that. So. A lot of people don't know this. My wife and I have been trying really hard to have a child for like the past 3 years.
What?
And went through fertility treatments to the both of us, and finally found out that she is just over 4 weeks pregnant.
Bro, that's major. Hey, you know what? The toast this week's going out to you. That's what's up. I went early. Sorry.
I thought you were going to be like, we've been trying to figure it out, and it turns out we have to have sex. So,
wait, I just want to know something. I'm with a whole bunch of guys, and I heard it once, and I've heard it before. I came early.
That's the mantra of the show. So, what's so funny is, well, congratulations, Zach. But so funny, Dan, you said that. I sent my wife a meme one time.
No.
And it was a cartoon character throwing up. And the caption was, when you find out that sex is more than just holding hands. So that my wife, I sent her all the crazy, silly, stupid, sex memes and stuff like that. So it's awesome. Well, awesome, Zach. Well, that's all. I was trying to make a joke, and then you come in with the real. So far, we've insulted our dead animals and made fun of procreating. So, wow. And then Jews. Dan made fun of Jews, which probably is going to get me. Actually,
I didn't make fun of. I just said they celebrate birthdays for a long time, don't they?
I would like to go ahead and
in the 15th century
disassociate myself from Dan as I'm trying to be recruited for another source of employment right now.
Make sure
stop you.
Make sure you send my friend Ed this episode so
That's
he can.
right. Hey, Ed. Hey, real talk though. How funny would it be if I was denied employment because of the Loo Bros podcast and all the stupid crap that gets said on?
I could see it. I mean, this episode has started out like an episode of South Park already.
Oh, speaking of, I'm playing South Park right now, and it is vile.
It is not,
We haven't gotten to that part.
I'm just saying. I'm going early. All right, so rounding out the circle, here we go. We got Dan. How you doing,
Circle
Godfo, Mr. Godfo himself?
Hey, I'm good. I'm trying to build a magic deck to beat Zeke.
So wait a second. Everyone comes in here with all this big stuff, right? And then Dan's like, "Hey,
What? You want to go? Want to go into it? Like, I'll go into it. My dad died like 2 weeks ago, but
that sucks.
I didn't have somebody come in the house and put him down.
What the fuck?
Hey,
like my dad died 2 weeks ago.
That was my job.
He's like, my dad died. I'm playing Magicka.
He's like, my dad died 2 weeks ago, and I'm playing Magic. Man, he's on the watch, guys. We gotta be careful. Dan might not make it.
What am I supposed to do? Like, just drink myself to death?
Dan rolled in like Sloth from the Goonies. Hey, you guys.
Man, I finally watched that movie for the first time like 2 years ago. It is the most overrated, loud, annoying movie I've ever seen.
Baby Ruthie.
It's children yelling for 2 hours.
I mean, hey.
$50 bill. $50 bill.
It's like my house on a Saturday.
Dude, that's my house every day. Freaking children yelling. Everyone's yelling. The dogs are yelling. The wife's yelling.
You like live in that one scene from Tombstone where Morgan gets shot?
Yes. I'll be your Huckleberry. All right. So we've heard a ton, at least I've heard a ton about Zeke. All right. So we actually, guys, for the Loo Bros podcast, for the first time ever in all the years we've done this show, we've got a real gamer in the house. Not some poser, not some fake A gamer that plays Ratalaika games like Zach did one time.
Way to disrespect CJ like that. All right.
I'm like, look, dude, we're all guilty. Okay.
I'm not.
We got a bragger. All right, Zeke.
I don't even know what that is.
Well, by the end of the night.
Yes.
We'll
teach you the ways.
You see what's going through Darrell's head right now is the scene from Batman versus Superman. Do you bleed? You will.
Yeah, somewhere between that and then the Dark Knight, where it's like you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. That's right, hero. Your time is up. So, how you doing, Zeke? It's nice to meet you. Glad to have you on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I hear you play real games.
I don't know. I guess I do. You know, I don't know if they're real games or if they're just hard, and I platinum them. So I don't know.
Little flex.
Yeah, I like From Software games. I play a lot of Bloodborne, Dark Souls. I loved Elden Ring. It was good. It was just really easy. Sekiro, nice, you know, like that.
When you name out a FromSoft game and then you go, it was really easy.
No, it was. The worst thing about Elden Ring is like I beat it in 2 weeks. Yeah. Like, and I have a real job, and
then he played the game. No.
Oh no.
Oh, she got him.
Hey, here's a hot take. Melania is not hard. Everybody just sucks. So,
all right, you know what, Joe? That's gonna be the new opening of the show. Melania is not hard. Everybody just sucks.
No,
I remember when Zeke got was it Sekiro, whatever it is, like the samurai game.
Yeah,
it was like I got a text like 4 days later. He was like, "I got to find something else to play."
Yeah,
because he's like already beaten it.
Yeah, I beat Sekiro in 4 days.
So wait, I'm not. I mean, this is very, very impressive that you beat these games so fast.
Yeah.
But more as a older gamer, I'm more impressed at the amount of time you have to play games. Could you explain how that works?
You have 4 days in a year.
I have insomnia, so I don't sleep at all. Like I sleep like a late night for me is probably 4.5, maybe 5 hours.
Oh, you're on my sleep schedule. All right.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah. I get
but unlike Joe, he finishes games.
Yeah, there you go.
Dang.
Yeah.
So far tonight, we have made fun of our dead animals. We have implied that a father died and it was our job to put him down. We've made fun of
I didn't have to
procreating.
He died on his own.
Yeah.
And then
He heard me coming.
And then we made light of insomnia. I love it, guys. We are really
made light of insomnia. Like it's some crucial, like debilitating. Do you suffer from insomnia?
Hey,
How many people have died from insomnia? Fight Club said 0.
Wait. Wait, do you guys also suffer from the same an eating disorder as known as insomnia?
Jeez, that was so terrible. I love it.
Freddie.
Nope, but I'm pretty sure that Darrell suffers from gender dysphoria.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
He looks like I mean, in all fairness, earlier he did call Kalai a him.
I did.
You did.
Well,
you said, and he made me use made me use his government name earlier.
I was referring to Joe, but you know what? He deserved it.
And I will be canceled now. Thank you.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, Joe, how's that? Joe, how's that battle with the volcano going?
Oh, funny.
That's the worst you got growing up? I'm named Daniel.
Oh, please. My name is Kalai.
People don't even know how to say your name.
Exactly.
I couldn't. That's how we met Kalai, because she wrote into the show, or she said something in the show once years and years ago, and then she sends a video to our Facebook group telling me how to pronounce her name because I'm too stupid.
That's because you asked, didn't you? He's like, how do I say your name? So I recorded it.
He kept saying koala.
Why is your name Kiwami? It sounds like a Yakuza game.
So video games.
There you go. Exactly. Yeah, here we are. This is what we do. 18 minutes into the show. All right, guys. Here we are on the Loo Bros Podcast. We like to talk about video games. We like to run our mouth about a whole bunch of nonsense. We like to make fun of real gamers because we're a bunch of fake gamers. If you like what you hear, like, share, subscribe. Go check out the YouTube. Go check out the socials. Check out Resident Darrell's YouTube channel. I just made a funny little video making fun of DK Oldies. I don't know if you guys have followed the DK Oldies controversy lately, but they have just been YouTube gold. And I bought a stack of really dirty, nasty games, and I made a joke in my house that these must have come from DK Oldies. And then my daughter and I decided we would just put them in a box, say they came from DK Oldies, open them, and they're disgusting. And it's awesome. Like you can't really tell from the video. I'm a little disappointed that even shooting in 4K and then rendering in 4K, you still couldn't see the crazy dirt rings I was wiping off of these discs.
It's gross.
Does it stand for Dookie Oldies?
I mean, I don't know what the controversy is when you don't refurbish your shit. There's no controversy. You're just not doing your job. There's I don't see where the controversy comes in. Controversy
totally
means like you may or may not be doing what you're saying you're doing. They're just not, and it's been blatantly proven time and time again. So it's like I don't get where the word controversy comes in.
Because they are totally refurbished, Joe. We wiped them down.
It comes from Latin, Joe.
Pig Latin?
That's basically what it is. So what's awesome is they go, all right, well, here we have this 1 year warranty, but if you take the console apart to find out if we refurbished it or not, your warranty is voided. I mean, it really is brilliant. It's a great racket. It's like, we'll wipe them down, we'll make them look clean, and then if you take it apart, you'll see that it wasn't clean, but because you took it apart, your warranty's voided, and we can say, nope, that's your dust.
Sounds like my laundry.
Your dust.
That's right. It sounds like my underwear. Don't really know how that applies, but here we go.
I didn't even know you wore underwear.
I don't. Joke's on you guys. They don't call me old commando for nothing. Actually, no.
I'm on the wrong podcast.
Yeah, he's like I can't talk about video games.
Did you listen to any of our old episodes before you came on here? I mean,
yes, I listen to everything.
I listened to.
I never lied.
I listened to Dan and Darrell rant and rave about the Snyderverse, and that's all I needed to know.
Oh darn, I missed that.
Oh my gosh, we've been really.
Is that where we lost 2,000 subscribers?
You're welcome.
I listen to you fucking talk about Batman for 3 hours.
I told Darrell too. It was funny. So Styling came into my Twitch chat and said, hey, is the Loo Bros going to go back to normal? I can't stand another episode of comic talk.
I got it too. I got a he was like, someone else messaged me and they were like, Yeah, are you coming back? Is everyone else coming back, or is the show dead? And I was like, no comment right now.
He's like, I need interruptions by children and wiener talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently they missed our wiener talk. And I don't even have a wiener.
Are you sure about that? Maybe you're the one that suffers from gender dysphoria.
It's 2023.
If you suffer from ginger dysphoria,
if you suffer from ginger dysphoria, you think you're a redhead.
Sometimes my hair's red, sometimes it's not.
No, if you think you have a soul or not.
Dude,
what's the soul
of ginger dysphoria? I had to fight some gingers in the hallways of South Park.
Would you like to do what you've been playing now? Like,
let's do that.
We'll start with Zeke. Zeke, you're the guest in the house. You can help us get back on track.
Why? Okay, all right. I'm not going after him because I will not feel that kind of pressure after whatever he's been playing.
Hey, you be quiet. You're fired. Get out.
What if he's not playing anything because he beat everything?
Well, no. So I'll say two things. Season 28 of Diablo 3, I completely finished that, and I only played 5 times. That's a really easy season. So after I beat that, I went in my backlog and I was like, you know what game I missed completely was Ghost of Tsushima. Okay. So I started playing that.
Yes.
And like, it's not Sekiro, which that kind of let me down, but it's a lot slower. I love like old samurai films anyway, and I'm just having a nice, good old time. Just killing Mongols.
Are you ready?
Saving distressed women. That's awesome. Yeah. So it's a breath of fresh air. I don't really have to try that hard.
Yeah, heck yeah. I mean, I didn't play it on easy. What's up?
Nah, man. Look, you can play on easy if you want to. There's a difficulty that I'm gonna play. Like after I'm like whatever the hardest difficulty is you die in one hit, like by anything. I'm not playing on that. I'm playing on the one under that, but I'm going to because it's fun.
He's a masochist.
I like taking a hammer and hitting myself in the penis with it.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Dan, what have you been playing?
Mostly Final Fantasy X and Armored Core 2.
There you go.
Wait, Dan, you play video games?
Whenever I'm not like studying or working on art, like in the 10 minutes I have, I try to beat Armored Core 2 again.
Nice.
Once I finish this test for work, I'll be playing like a whole lot more.
Heck yeah, dude. Heck yeah. So you're playing on your PS2 that you picked up?
Yep. I love it. It's my
That's awesome.
favorite system right now. I'm going back through Majora's Mask on my 64 like every other weekend, but that's because I never beat it. I had the same save file when I was like 10, and I just beat like the Water Temple for the second time, so I'm on the last temple before you go to the moon to fight Skull Kid and punch him in the face.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So, funny story, Armored Core. So, Armored Core 5 came out, I believe, on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, or was it just Xbox 360?
Right.
No, it's on both.
I don't know how valuable that game is. I refuse to look it up, but I was editing one of my old videos from going and hunting games in the wild, and I remember specifically this encounter. I found a bunch of games. She was a reseller, and she was selling her games for like $5 a piece, and I'm like getting to be a bit of a snob where if I have to pay $5 for a game, like it's got to be like really good. And I remember going through this box and not really finding much in there. I'm editing the footage. Armored Core 5 is sitting there. I'm like, what the freak? How did I just walk away and not grab that? Like completely didn't register.
You weren't in the moment, Darrell.
Yeah.
You sold out. You forgot what it's about.
I know, right? I did buy a Tick action figure, like from the show.
Nice.
And I flipped it on the internet for like $25-$30. I paid $5.
I think you should just live the gimmick now, Darrell, and you should literally go game hunting in hunting outfit.
Bro.
And just talk in like a sick southern accent and
have a
around
rifle
a gaming
on my back.
shotgun and be like, I'm here for games.
You got it on PlayStation 3? You got the P3? Dude, I went hunting yesterday, and this older gentleman that I refused to buy from because he thinks his games are worth like gold. He was the only person selling games yesterday. It was such a dry run. And I go up to him and I'm like, hey, brother, how much you got on your games? I already know the answer. But he was hungry yesterday. He's like, man, on that P4, I'm getting $15. On the P3, I give you like $2-3, depending on how many you get. Sure enough, I bought everything he had. I was like, yes, I'll take it. I mean, it was all junk, but I mean, I had to buy something. It was killing me.
So this old curmudgeon wants $15 a PS4 game?
Oh, dude, the P4 is where it's at,
Is he on crack?
No.
Yes. Why do you think he sells games at the back of his truck?
I mean, hey.
Well, so does Darrell at this point.
I say if that's the case.
Darrell's also on crack.
Where do you think his hair went?
He's still got a hole in his ceiling.
Dude, an 8-foot hole in my ceiling. That's no joke. All right, Zach, what you been playing?
So I picked up a Game Boy Advance SP recently.
Nice.
So I've been
nice.
Been delving a little bit into it. I've been playing some Yu-Gi-Oh! Destiny Board Traveler, which is a really weird game. It's a weird board strategy game where you have to like.
Did you say Wiener board?
Wiener board. Doing. Which ended on that. So I've been playing that. Played a little bit of WWE 2K23. Little bit of Schmite, a little bit of Diablo 2.
Dang,
little bit of this, little bit of that.
Boy's getting around.
Hey.
Nice. You're sincerely convinced it was the comic book talk that lowered the quality of the show.
Hey, they like our wiener talk. Their favorite episode was chocolate bananas.
Maybe it was. God. Maybe it wasn't.
Mine was a shit bucket.
That was a good fucking episode. I actually saw him the other day.
All right.
Shout out to shit bucket.
Kalai.
I've been playing a lot of stuff on my Steam Deck. So I've been playing Vampire Survivors. And JT keeps messaging me because he's like, you're really going on that game. I'm like, yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. I'm like 100 achievements into the game.
Dang.
So I've been enjoying that. If anybody has Xbox Game Pass, it's on Xbox Game Pass. I picked up Kingdoms of Amalur.
Nice.
And yeah, I basically bought it 3 times now. And started it and got to the same point and quit 3 times. So I'm like on my 4th attempt of trying not to quit.
I get that.
So I've been working on that. Then me and Jim have started playing couch co-op. We're actually playing Guacamelee 2.
Okay.
And that game, it really is. We're having a lot of fun. Though I still stand by the fact that I don't 100% always like couch co-op. Especially if you've played that game, because when there's challenges that you have to get to, if both people try to do it, it can get very, very difficult. Whereas if one person succeeds, the other person gets forced to where the first person succeeded to. So that's kind of sucky. So like at some points, it's just one of us sitting there while the other tries to get through the actual challenge.
Okay.
What else have I been playing? Yeah, I haven't really been playing much because I've just been so busy. I like a little bit of Switch, but that's pretty much it. A lot of Vampire Survivors.
I dig it. I hear it's good. I hear it's very simple but very fun.
Yeah.
All right, Joe.
A lot of stuff, like a lot. Like where to begin? Obviously I got the Mecca of all Meccas. I got 2K23 WWE. That game is great. I can't say enough good things. Darrell, you need to pick this game up ASAP. The controls, I love them. I absolutely love the mechanics in the game. They fixed a lot of stuff that was like didn't really need too much fixing last year, but like I like the new pin mechanic. I really like the grapple system now. I've been playing My Faction a lot. I really like it. I'm like getting into it. It's like Madden Ultimate Team, but for wrestling fans, which is really scary that I'm getting into this because now like I'm itching to whip my wallet out and get some packs, and I'm like, this is sad.
Don't do it.
I know. If I go down this rabbit hole, there's no coming back, Darrell. Like I'm done. then I can't complain about any microtransaction games ever again because I will be part of the problem.
Yep,
I'll be buying shit crystals.
And just do it anyway and be a hypocrite. Just go for it.
You need to be buying no shit crystals. Listen, it stops me from buying other games though. That's the problem. That's where I see it.
Weak.
It's just just do it, man.
You clearly have stuff you can hawk.
You'd be like, oh, yeah, clearly.
You have a house.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll just trade my house for some VC.
How do you feel about child labor laws?
Listen,
hey, you got an able body.
You got some freeloaders, man.
Dude, this dude's got a chair blocking his child out.
Bro, what you gotta do when you can't lock people out.
Hey, he's got that junk set up like there's an axe murderer coming in the room. He's got that junk.
Listen, Ghostface is coming for me.
Here's Johnny.
Kevin McAllister from Home Alone had better traps.
Joe's like, oh no, she's gonna get me.
It's funny. It turns out the door opens from the other side.
Just goes, hi, Dad.
She's like, Dad, did you fix it?
He's like, the chair's so whenever like the kids are screaming, I can just hang myself from it.
That's my light right above me.
Oh gosh, we're gonna turn on the camera.
The light bulbs that are like half lit.
That's why he's got the wired headphones.
We're going to turn on the camera one day and Joe's just going to be spinning from the ceiling fan.
I told you he wasn't fat.
All right, so I played Wreckfest. That's a really cool game. Demolition Derby racing game. I like it. I'm almost done with it. I'm on like the last cup. So digging that. I played Neo, The World Ends With You for like a good 4 or 5 hours. Cool little solid RPG on the PS4. I tried to play Life is Strange, and the beginning of the game was so morbid that I had to shut it off. But I was like, oh, this story is going here? Okay, we can't play this right now. Because I played.
What's so morbid about it?
I can't give it'll spoil the game.
Oh, I'm not going to play it. So.
It's fucked up. It's real fucked up. I was
it retold the Tanya Harding story.
Kind of, but not really. Ghostwire Tokyo, I played that.
It's good stuff.
That game is really good, and I don't understand why it failed so badly. Oh, wait, because it's on PlayStation, and if you're not a main title PlayStation game, you just fail. There's no one buys your shit. It's kind of sad. I wish more people would buy PlayStation games that aren't first party.
I really want to play Ghostwire Tokyo.
Well, if you had premium, you could. But you just
guess what's even better? It's coming to Game Pass.
That's right. You're right. It is.
Oh, man. Enjoy it on Game Pass.
Well, I say, hey, you guys finally get a good game.
Oh shit! Or a game.
Anything.
No, I think there's some really good games on Game Pass.
Let me count all the Microsoft games on it from this generation.
You should do it right now. All of them.
Right there. Right. 0. I just counted them all.
I thought we were going to be here for a while.
No, we're done.
0.
Moving on.
And 0.
Hey, true story
Minecraft
though.
Dungeons.
Had they not bought Bethesda, they would have had 0 releases. Womp
womp. Anyway, I played Minecraft Dungeons. That's a fun little game. People should check it out. It's like Diablo clone, but with Minecraft.
Yeah. It's a shittier Diablo.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's not terrible, but it does what it needs to do for 5-year-olds. But
hey, have you ever wanted to play Diablo, but your eyes hurt too?
Do you ever want to play Diablo, but you don't want the actual fun of playing Diablo or like the actual skill? Play this.
If you ever want to play Diablo but get stuck in the geometry,
oh my god, Darrell,
dude, that's my experience with Minecraft Dungeons has been mind numbing because I'll play with my kids and someone gets stuck in the geometry because it's vertical, right? But you're playing isometrically, so you can get stuck in these little pockets of green that don't necessarily indicate that they're lower than other pockets of green. And if you're not
be there trying to shake every tree down for like money or like,
dude, well, it's frustrating is me and my son are trying to my oldest are trying to burn through it and beat the game. And my youngest is stuck somewhere and we can't progress without him.
He's probably in that hole in your ceiling.
Y'all tethered. It feels that way.
Darrell calls it Mein Kampf Dungeon.
Oh my god!
Because he has so much trouble with
this isn't getting monetized.
Well, Darrell, if you weren't going to hell before, you are now.
It's his struggle.
You can't go to hell for killing Nazis.
That's true. They kind of have it coming.
They only had themselves to blame.
It's true.
Joe,
Like Nazis is like Abby from Last of Us 2. It's like in the same. It's like in the same realm. There's no redeeming qualities from both of them.
Oh, dude. So here's a funny story real quick. So Zachary Levi, the guy who's the actor for Shazam, he put his foot in his mouth, making fun of the Snyder Cut, saying it didn't exist. And then all the Snyder fans turned on him. So now when his movie's struggling, all the Snyder fans and these groups and stuff are just giving him the kind of double birds. Like, well, that's what you get. We're not coming to watch your movie because you're a tool. So
you lost 2,000 more subscribers, Darrell.
That's right. I didn't want them anyways because they probably didn't want a Snyder Cut.
I met him.
Zachary Levi?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, so he posts a tweet earlier this week, and maybe it was before, but either way, I saw it earlier this week, just going screen capped it. And they're like, hey, Neil Druckmann, I'm a huge fan of The Last of Us, the first game, and I even like the second game even more. It'd be really awesome if you let me in, you wanted me in the show or whatever. And I was like rushing into the group to be like, yeah, he can play Abby with his little muscle suit. And then someone beat me to it. I was like, dang it. So I get on there and I was like, I commented to that person. I was like, man, you beat me to it. Like, great minds over here.
My dad used to say idiots come in pairs.
That's right. That's right. Just like
is that why men have two balls?
That's right.
That show's going to get so much hate when people meet Abby. Oh, I can't wait. Oh.
Dear Abby, you suck.
You suck.
Joe, did you finish or did we cut you off a lot?
I feel like I never finish because I play too many fucking things. And I don't ever finish my games because I play too many things.
Oh, well, you could finish early.
I'm sorry.
And then Terminator Salvation is the last thing I played this week. And that game is dope.
Really?
Yeah. Terminator Salvation is really good. What happened, Zach?
Nothing. I was laughing at you.
Hey, man.
I was enjoying your pain.
Yo,
yeah,
Zach,
I mean,
I'm going to sidebar this for a second because I got to talk to my boy Zach right here. Zach, did you watch the Power Rangers trailer yet?
No, I'm not.
What?
I don't want to. I'm staying as far away from spoilers as possible.
I'm a grown man, so no.
I want to enjoy it. No, actually, I'm a big Power Rangers fan. Like
he's like, you're a grown man. I read comic books.
Yeah, let's talk about them.
Yeah, let's run off the last 4 subscribers. Let's go. Speaking of comic books, all right, I've been playing South Park Stick of Truth. This is the pledge game that I have struggled with for the past several months. Not that it's difficult, but this is nothing. I cannot play this with my family within 45 feet of the premises.
It's such a great game.
You gotta make your kids learn it, man.
Freak that, dude. This thing is vile. This game is awful. Like, the stuff that's in this game is just like, I'm like, I can't believe they got away with it. It's insane. And this is South Park. I should know they've gotten away with everything. And they're just like, oh, we're making a game. We're going to push it even farther.
Have you been collecting them all?
The Chin Pokemon?
Yes, the Chin Pokemon.
Chin Pokemon. I've got like 16 out of the 30 or whatever.
Like, try to bomb the harbor.
Oh my gosh, dude, the dodgeball. I haven't seen an American die like that since Abraham Lincoln. Dude, that is not cool. You're going to get us in trouble again.
You're playing the second one or the first one?
The first one.
Chin Poke baby.
Oh my god, the second one is just as funny.
Bro, so I haven't watched South Park in many years, but there were a couple episodes that I had seen, I guess, kind of like out of order, because like that thing came out when I was in middle school. And so maybe early high school, I don't know. But I watched the first couple seasons when they came out, and it was hilarious. And then I remember seeing the Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez episode. You guys see that?
You're gonna get us back in the Snyderverse for this.
There we go. They did it first. Taco flavor kisses for my Ben. So I go into a store in South Park Stick of Truth, and it's like, ooh, I love tacos. I was like, dude, they put the Hannaford song in there. It was amazing. That was so freaking funny. I'm just sitting there laughing, just listening to the song. I'm like, oh my gosh, this game is freaking wild. I don't know how far I am. So I've already beat the dead Nazi fetus. I've already wrestled the underpants gnomes under my parents' mating.
You're almost done.
I've got to go to Canada now.
Lemmy Winks.
I have not done Lemmy Winks yet, but I think that's coming next. So,
and if you think the first one is bad, the second one is just. Has anybody played the second one?
Man,
yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, the priest.
Yeah. Fighting the fat stripper.
Zeke, didn't you beat Bad Fur Day when I lived with you?
Yeah, Conker's.
Or was that during college?
I go back, man. I played Conker's Bad Fur Day every 4 or 5 years.
I remember you beating it in like a week or something. I was like, man, I've never seen this game all the way through.
Yeah, everybody just remembers like the big poo and the song, and that's it. But it's actually good.
I was doing the Mr. Hanky missions.
Yeah,
looking for his nuggets. I'm in the sewer looking for his nuggets. You guys want to get high? I found it. What's that? The Beat the Funky Town.
Yeah.
Don't forget your towel.
Don't forget to bring a towel. So stupid. But yeah, I've only been playing that, and well, that's not true. I've been playing that. I've been playing One Piece Pirate Warriors 3 on the Vita still.
Oh,
I'm several missions into it now. I quite enjoy that game. Joe, you like Musos? You need to play One Piece Pirate Warriors 3.
I beat that already.
Really?
Yeah.
It's really good. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, I just bought 4 the other day because it's on sale for like $8.
Nice. So I've been playing that. I've been playing Goat Simulator 3. I don't know if you guys have played Goat Sim 3, but it is hilarious. I picked it up the other day. I got a GameStop gift card not too long ago, and I was like, we went in there and they had it marked down to $20. When they rang it up, it was like still ringing up at like almost 40. I was like, nah, ma'am, it says $20 even too, which is weird because they never have even dollar amounts at GameStop. It's always,
99. Yep.
But it just said $20 on it. I was like, nope, I'm going to take it for 20. Sure enough, I got it and brought it home, and it's 4 players split screen co-op. Me and the kids are having a friggin' blast. There's all kinds of mini games in there, and you can drive vehicles. So it's very like Goat Simulator meets GTA. So you can steal cars and you can ride them around as a goat. Oh my gosh, dude. Just the laughing that we've done in this house. It's been so good. And I think that's really it. I started playing what was that game that Scott Pilgrim? I started playing Scott Pilgrim the other night too. So
very
good. You play with your kids or just by yourself?
Just by myself. So I'm in this trophy hunting competition right now. And I didn't think with the amount of time that I have that I would even qualify. But I entered the qualifier. I came in 5th place. You only had to make it to the top 6. So I was like, hey, I qualified. Well, the first bracket is right now. And I was like, well, I got to stay. I mean, I'm in a competition. I got to stay up late and play video games. So I've been putting my wife to bed and then staying up late and
sounds
playing.
Terrible. He's like, put fucking cough syrup in her fucking drink. Go to sleep.
Go to sleep, ho.
I'm playing games.
I told you I'm playing games tonight. Oh my God. What was that video? That dude? It's like, give me a chicken
tenders.
I think it was called Angry Black Guy in the Woods. I think that is literally the title. Yeah.
Dude, bro.
You do not have a brother.
I told you.
Give me some chicken tenders and waffle fries.
He said,
oh, free.
I told you I didn't have no brothers. I said, go give me a chicken sandwich and Dr. Pepper or something. Some waffle fries. I want to know that girl. I said, who you talking to? She said, that's my brother. I said, I told you not to have no brother.
Dark web.
So good. That was back when YouTube was real good. Real good.
Yeah.
Kalai, if you hadn't seen that, go to YouTube, type in, give me a chicken sandwich and some waffle fries. That's like that OG. That's like a 15-year-old YouTube content right there. That's like the best stuff.
It's still up there.
That's all it is, dude. One night we were back when we were streaming the Loo Bros podcast, we watched it and then we just talked the whole episode as if we were all that dude. And it was awesome. It was seriously the best content we've ever made.
Ouch.
No wonder.
Again, it was the comic books that lost.
Literally, there's nothing we can do here tonight that can compete. So there's just that.
Just turn off your mics now.
All right, this is Editor Darrell here coming in with a quick update. I'm going to give you guys the leaderboards. I'm going to give you guys the backlog beatdown, and I'm going to patch in a section where myself and Dan initially started the conversation that will end up being this week's official topic. So it's going to sound a little funky. There's no good way of doing this because our call was disconnected when we were recording. Originally, this episode was going to be myself and Dan talking about our favorite PS2 games. What ends up happening is we get disconnected about 50 minutes into the call. So we talk about a whole bunch of great games. We have a bunch of good laughs. Then we're going to cut back into the show where I have myself, Dan, Zeke, Kalai, Zach, and Joe. I almost called him Jason. But where I'll pick up kind of where this conversation left off and almost rehash a whole brand new set of games. So you're going to get a ton of PlayStation 2 love on this episode. So here you go. First off, we didn't actually give an official toast to the Patreon producers. So MZ, Sadek, my name is Mayo. Thank you for your service. All right, here we go. Backlog beatdown stats. I'm Silent on your bro with 97, Redbeard Rick with 52, Duplex with 38, JT with 32, Diego with 31, Gaz with 25, Yield with 23, Departed with 22, Sadek with 22, Alex with 22. You got Alex with 20, Resident Darrell with 20, Trying Casual Games with 19, CJ with 17, Jared with 15, Kalai with 13, Dino Killer with 12, MZ with 9. We got Zach, One Plat Zach with 8. James the Nerd with 7. Sid with 3. Haley Pickle with 2. And Noah the Builder with 2. Now, heading over to our leaderboards. In first place, we have, we're going to the True Achievements leaderboards first. On the Xbox side, I'm Selling Your Bro with 2,425 achievement points, playing some Crackdown 2. Next up, we have the Bearded Nerd with 405 achievement points, playing some Minecraft. Sadek with 350, playing some Under Leaves. GDI Master Ace with 200, playing Nino Kuni 2. And then Redbeard Rick in 5th place with 150 points, playing Slay the Spire. Very nice, very nice. And then the True Trophies leaderboard, we have Cool Kid Joe back in the sack, back on, first place with 416 trophies. That's excellent. I haven't seen Cool Kid Joe in here in a while. Glad to have you back, brother. He's playing some God of War Ragnarok. We got Tricky Mick playing 268 trophies, playing some Froggo 3. Tricky is currently at PAX. He's been giving us all kinds of updates and stuff, talking about all the great games he's played. And obviously, he brought a PlayStation so he could spam his little heart out on the downtime. We have the Grounded Gamer with 75 trophies, playing some Castlevania Requiem. And in 5th place, we have Mr. TMNT 84 with 41 trophies, playing the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga. Very, very nice. Let's see. Just for fun, we have 16 people on the leaderboard for the True Trophies. I already closed out the True Achievements, so my bad. So here we go, guys. We've toasted. We've read the backlog beatdown. We've given you the update on the leaderboards. I do not have the audio for an update on the trophy rarity at this time. So that might end up getting added into something separate later in the week. We do know that Gaz is traveling all over God's green earth doing the foot golf. So we want to make sure he has time to do all that good stuff. All right, so here you go. Back to the show. You have part 1 of this week's official topics, myself and Dan, and we're going to be talking favorite PS2 games. And then it's going to jump back into the show you were just listening to, and it's going to be everyone coming together to talk about favorite PS2 games. Thank you guys so much for listening. We want some feedback on this one. This one's got a lot. There's a lot of content, a lot of good stuff, a lot of good laughs. So we'd love for you guys to reach out and let us know what you think. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Loo Bros Cross Godfo Universe Podcast. I'm your host, Resident Darrell. I got Dan Evans, my boy, back in the sack. What's up?
What up, buddy?
Is back in the sack sexual? Should I not say that?
I probably should have said back in the saddle.
Back in the saddle, huh? That sounds like
that's
probably sexual too.
Until Brokeback Mountain ruined it.
Cowboys were cool until then, yeah. Hey, Dan, I don't know if you can turn your gain up, but we could use a little bit more.
Yeah.
Mr. Evans. You just probably recording
some. About that.
There you go. It's probably recording some,
a little bit better.
fat beats in the background, weren't you? All right. There you go. So I'm recording a little bit of video. You're obviously recording video. You always record the video for us. So what I'm going to do is this episode is going to go on the YouTube channel for sure, because I'm telling you the story. This is how we're starting off our time. We're going to talk favorite PS2 games, but that's not why everybody's here. They're here for this story right here that I'm about to share with you. So check it out. My son, second grade, he in the first grade made a puppet. Okay, so what they did for school was the teachers took a picture of the child, right, and made a little cutout and attached it to some sort of brown paper bag so that they could make it move and talk or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Said cutout of the child is then taped with its hands around the bag somehow. I don't understand how it worked because I never saw it completed. All I saw was this. My wife is a minimalist, okay? And so we don't have a ton of stuff on our walls. We don't have a ton of stuff in our house. Like, my video game collection is considered hoarding to her. Like, she doesn't keep stuff, right? And so the kids' stuff she'll keep for a very short amount of time in certain areas, and then she throws them in the, quote, special bin.
Which is the trash can.
Exactly. So what she did was she threw away said puppet, and my son saw it in the special bin and was like, no, you can't do this. I made this for you. And she goes, but look, baby, it's ripped. And she had ripped the puppet so that if a kid saw it in the special bin, they wouldn't get mad.
She's thinking 3 steps ahead.
Yes, exactly. The problem is he wasn't having it. So he saved his puppet. Okay. I found said puppet, and it is one of the most disturbing looking things I have ever seen in my life, Dan, because his arms are ripped off. So it's a picture of my child with cartoon nubby arms. And the picture of his face, you could tell the teacher was like, all right, smile. And he's like, eh. So this is the puppet. Look at that. Look at these little strong hands. Take my strong hand, Dan. Take my strong hand. So look at that face. Like, he's trying, but it just... So check it out. What I do in this house is I hide behind the wall, I hide behind the bed, I hide behind bathrooms, and I go, I make this really high-pitched screech, and it scares my family to death. So out of nowhere, watch the camera, it's like,
what you should do is make one of you.
Look at that. Look at them arms.
And then make one of her.
Dude. And what's really funny is sometimes I'll make the bed and I'll have the comforter over the pillow. And then when she pulls her end back, this is laying on her pillow. And it's like,
she's going to remember all of this.
It's so funny because, like, it's a big deal in the house. Sometimes I'll hide 20, 30 minutes in a specific spot just to get the old.
and yet your ceiling isn't fixed.
I ain't got time to fix it.
You should just make a bunch of those and patch it up with that.
Oh my gosh! Just tape them to the ceiling. And then whenever the tape falls, like, oh my gosh! So yes, here we go. Loo Bros Godfo. We're at it again. And the nonsense has already ensued. I just saw it, right? So my daughter, and I was sitting on the recliner the other day, and my daughter goes up to the window. And the window right here in my office is like one of those like French door looking windows. It's got like the panes in it or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's like a little bit of a wall, and that's where the basement's at, on just on the backside of the wall, or the entrance anyways. So she hid over there outside my door the other night and was like,
how does your son feel about it?
Oh, he thinks it's hilarious. He thinks this is the funniest thing ever. Actually, it's annoying because I have taken, this is my instrument of joy in the house. And I was like, you guys quit touching my puppet. This is daddy's. This is mine. And so they have it all the time. So no joke. I came in my office this morning. Guess what was laying out on my desk? The puppet. So I have SC Horror Con's flyer. It's just sitting over here. I'm like, that's pretty ominous. That's pretty awesome. So when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, when we record, I gotta show Dan this. He'll appreciate this.
You're gonna have that like on your deathbed when your son comes close, you're just gonna pull it out from under the cover.
Take my strong hand, Dan. Take my strong hand. Sorry.
You're gonna start comparing your son to that thing. You're gonna start photoshopping him out of the pictures and putting that in.
Take my strong hand, child. I love the little like. I love it. So yeah, I saw that on my desk. I was like, well, saving that for Dan. He'll appreciate it.
I can't wait till like my kids are old enough to do that kind of stuff. But like my oldest is a girl, so she probably won't have that kind of sense of humor.
I don't know, man. My daughter does. She's friggin' hilarious. Jump scares and just puns and oh my gosh. We went out on a daddy-daughter date the other night and we bought a book of puns, of bad puns.
Yeah.
Freaking loved it. Just it's so funny. It's so funny because we just finished The Last of Us and you know, Ellie from the game has the book of puns and she finds them in the show. Mm-hmm. And then my daughter and I, shortly after that episode aired, went to Five Below and they've got a book of puns there. So I want to chime in here real quick and post. I did not watch The Last of Us with my daughter. My wife and I watched it because it very much, listening back to this, sounded like I said after we watched it, and then we went and bought a book of puns together. I would never let my 11-year-old daughter watch The Last of Us. Bought it for her. So. Yeah. But my daughter doesn't look like a mole human, unlike Bella Ramsey from The Last of Us.
Man. Yeah, that poor girl. You think Hollywood could have done something with her before putting her back on screen? Because like in Game of Thrones, she looked fine because she was like a little kid, so it's like, okay, who cares? Yeah. And then like in this, she's like, oh, like it's bad when a game looks better than you.
What's funny is for the Loo Bros Patreon, myself and the host of the Trivia Horse podcast, Tricky Mick, we've done weekly deep dives of every episode. And so it's become a common theme for me to make fun of Bella Ramsey's face on the podcast.
You calling her Bell's palsy, Ramsey?
Oh no. That's terrible. Bella palsy. That's awful. That's terrible. I'm like, look. I understand what it's like to be a unattractive human being, so I can speak on it. I can speak on this. Is my field of expertise, right? Like I've got a face for radio. So when I look at Bella Ramsey, I'm like, ooh. Yeah.
She's just a little off. It's just a little bit. Something's just not quite there, and you feel so bad because she's talented. And you know she's a person, but you're still like, okay, maybe you're not Hollywood pretty.
No. Hey, oh my gosh, that's funny. I made a joke to my wife. I said, I remember back in the day when like you had to be pretty to be on TV, and you couldn't be fat to be on TV. I was like, I'm ready to go back to that. I was like,
unless you were funny. Unless you were funny.
Well, that's true. Yeah. I was, but I told her, I said, man, I'm getting tired of looking at all these fat, ugly people. I was like, I can do that in the mirror.
Like, I can do that in the mirror.
I said, I turned to Hollywood for pretty people. I was like,
those things people always like, well, you couldn't do it. I was like, yeah, that's why I'm not doing it. Like,
I know. I don't watch Predator for somebody like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see like a steroid-ridden monster of a human being with a giant gun take on
fighting a human being monster.
Yeah. Like, could you imagine if 2023's Predator comes out and it's like, oh, he's the fat trans predator from his planet coming down here.
Plot twist: all the predators are Christians.
Yeah, we send our predators out there, but they're the wrong kind.
I didn't mind I didn't finish it though, so maybe I shouldn't say that. The new Predator that came out was called Prey.
That was really good.
I liked it better in the Comanche language, it felt like a better movie, but I didn't finish it because I'm like, oh, she's gonna win somehow. This 90-pound, 5'2" girl is gonna win. So more power.
I thought the way they did it was good. I thought it was, again, coming, and this is what I tell people all the time, like, coming from you have to take in the culture of what's happening around you all the time. With today's films, it doesn't. I'm sure it was the same way back in the 80s, but like growing up, not understanding the cultural relevance and like what was being pushed, it just seemed like this is the standard. You know what I'm saying? Like pretty people on TV, muscle bound dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like not fat ladies. That's just what we got.
Like a grocery item. Of the non-fat ladies. What about 2%?
Now we got the whole milk ladies.
No, whole milk would be like
Diet Coke dudes and the whole milk ladies.
Whole milk would be like thunder thighs, like childbearing hips, and she like also works on a farm.
Oh my god! Like so Dukes of Hazzard, essentially.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
that's whole milk. Now we got all the Diet Coke dudes on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't the same. So, anyways, my point is, when you take the cultural landscape and the way things feel like they're being pushed and presented. As soon as I saw the Prey movie, my first thought was, okay, here it comes. We're going to get the younger, like I said, 100 pounds soaking wet girl who's going to best this monster. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I know what we're getting with this. And there's even a scene where they kind of get a little on the nose with it. And they're like, you're a woman. You can't be a hunter. And she was like, I can. Whatever. Yeah. I don't know. There was some very on the nose writing, and it was like a little bit of, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But they did. I mean, the writing, the way it all played out outside of that one scene was very tasteful. It was very good. And, I do like the fact that my daughter can watch the Prey movie and be like, yeah. That's right. I mean, Zoe, you can't kill that thing. So like, but watching someone,
she's like, Dad, your you size, can't either.
Don't take away my hopes and dreams. I saw Arnold do it. I can do it.
Yeah. That's a great way to live your life. Arnold did it. I could do it.
He became the governor too. So like, I can do that. Right?
He moved to a completely different country and ruled one of their states.
Yeah, that's right. He became the governor. So
what's funny is we were watching Prey. My wife got mad because every time the girl was on screen, I just called her Squaw. Every time she would talk, I'd say, "Shut up, Squaw."
That's terrible, dude. It's so funny because my wife and I we watched it together, and my wife doesn't watch stuff like that, but she thoroughly enjoyed it, and I thought it was a great movie. So I highly recommend go back into it, watch it. It was a good one, and it is proof that in today's age we can get new films that are well written, minus that one line, and well acted and well portrayed. Everything was great. It was awesome. I didn't feel any kind of way afterwards, other than I was like, dude, do more of that. Not to mention that particular franchise feels like it can't get a win. Like the past several movies have sucked so bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, speak of the devil, and she will appear.
Yeah, I'm getting interrupted.
Mm.
Hey. But our original goal was what, PlayStation 2 games?
Yeah, that's what we're actually here for.
I just scored a PlayStation 2 off eBay about 2 weeks ago. So I've found my current roster of games is Rygar, which is one of my favorites. It's a remake from the NES.
Okay.
And on the PlayStation 2, it's actually a precursor to God of War. It actually used that button combat system before God of War did.
Okay.
And he swings like a giant shield, like a Spartan shield that's like on a chain. So even the combat feels very pre God of War. But anyway, that's a personal favorite of mine. Metal Gear Solid 2, you got to have that. Final Fantasy X, which and 7 are the only ones I've actually really liked to play. And that one's like big nostalgia bait for me. Like I love the colors. And then Armored Core 2, which is my favorite video game, probably top 2 or 3 ever made. I'm a big mech guy, and the Armored Core series are fantastic. So that's where I'm at right now. Now, if we want to talk like throughout time, I'll just go ahead and start. The first PlayStation 2 game I bought when it first came out, when it was like what $200-300, and it played DVDs or whatever, was Tekken Tag Tournament.
God, that's a good one.
I unlocked every single character. I even got a 300 bowling game on Tekken Bowling you could unlock in there. Because that's the only way. I think that was the only way you could get Gon / Roger. I think that was it. But I remember I had every single character unlocked, and yeah, I put so many hours on that game.
Heck yeah, dude.
I don't. Here's how I classify like systems. Like you get the NES, the SNES, the 64. Nintendo's always hitting it out of the park. But something, even the 64, of course, is still fantastic. I still got mine. I was playing GoldenEye the other day. But something about the PlayStation 2 to me is like the first non-Nintendo system that was truly fantastic. Like, and changed the trajectory for that entire company. Because the PlayStation 1 was, it wasn't bad. But the PS2, man, yeah. I'm really excited to talk about this.
Heck yeah. Well, then I'll just give like a kind of a brief overview of some of my favorites, not really going into any kind of order, but whenever when you sent me that screen grab of you winning the PS2 and all that stuff, I was like, oh man, that's the next thing we got to talk about is PS2, because there's so many games that I love, and I spent so much time on the PS2. Like one of the systems that probably have the most time of my life sunk into, and it came out at a perfect time for me, right at that that end of high school, college, time or whatever. And I remember one of the games that sticks out the absolute most, it was Grand Theft Auto 3.
I was about to say that, and then San Andreas,
San Andreas, Vice City. But see, Grand Theft Auto 3, when it came out, me and a group of my buddies were going to church together every Wednesday night, and
great precursor for a great
dude. This is really going to tell you everything you need to know about me. Okay, so I would ride home from school with my buddy Marcus after school. We would go straight to church, or we'd eat. We had football practice, stuff like that. So we had football practice after school. We would eat, change, and then we'd go to the Wednesday night service. After Wednesday night service, me, Marcus, my buddy Richard, and anyone else that came with us, because we were always inviting our friends with us. Yeah. But we went to his pool room, and one second, and he had a pool table and a TV in the corner and his PS2. And so we would go over there and we would play Grand Theft Auto 3, and we would, oh, good. And we would play like Grand Theft Auto 3 and just take turns running through the city. Not even really doing missions, but more so just beating up people on the side of the road and listening to the wild things that they say. And I remember one specific memory where, well, first off, there was always the first time you find out that you can pick up a woman of the night.
Yeah.
And then that whole thing, right? So that blew our minds that even was in a video game. Okay. But I remember my buddy Richard, I think it was Richard, running around hitting people with baseball bats. And we're like, what are you doing? You're a monster. And you could, of course, kill people, take their money and stuff. And then there was this old lady walking in the side of the road, and he whopped her. And I don't know why that was so funny. I guess because we never imagined that was possible in a video game. But he whopped this old granny. And we fell out of our chairs. Like it was the funniest freaking thing ever. So it looks like we got OSHA in there inspecting the room, making sure everything's on the up and up.
All right, hold on. What do you need?
You're good, dude. You're good.
There, with mine up over there.
I'm
gonna so like black out that entire screen like during that, right?
That's all right.
So for those who actually see this on my end, there was a wombat that came in and rummaged through the room.
It's so funny because your face is telling this whole story while I'm talking. I'm watching you react to all the action in the background. And I get that. I feel everything that you're portraying emotion wise, because like it seems like the only time anyone wants anything to do with me in this room is when I hit record.
Yep.
So
speaking of bats. But no, yeah, that was like the first, I don't want to say open world, but it's the first game to like feel open world where it's like, oh, I can do anything.
Literally. And we
the
put
cops
that
may show up, but who cares?
Oh my gosh. The fact that like you could have these interactions with cops and outrun the cops, and it would be a thing where we would come up with these really arbitrary rules on how to switch the controller around. Like, it wasn't even about beating the game. It was okay.
I never beat them.
I beat a few of them. But it would be, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to, get a 5-star rating or a 3-star rating or whatever, and whoever lasts the longest. I mean, and we would spend hours. Yeah. We'd be up till 2:00 in the morning, dude, playing Grand Theft Auto 3, having to get up for school 3 hours later, 4 hours later. And it was awesome. Like, we had so much fun. Then that wasn't like my favorite PS2 game, but that game and that series just garnered so many strong and just fun memories. So
yeah,
it
was the first kind of feeling adult game system. Like, it was the first to really lean into that, like lean into things like Grand Theft Auto. Like I said, the PlayStation 1 kind of tried to, but they couldn't really score all those games they needed. They didn't really have the processing power they needed, and it was grossly overpriced when it first came out. But I mean, you look at it, it's like this solid black rectangle. It looks like the monolith from 2001: A Space Odyssey. And it just had banger after banger. I mean, it had a really long shelf life. It felt like, because I remember we'd had it for years when like Prince of Persia came out.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I mean, and of course, one of the big ones is Metal Gear Solid 2, because I mean, Metal Gear Solid was a hit on the PlayStation, which is one of the hits it had. But then, I don't know, they just kept it was exciting. I was a Nintendo fanboy growing up and not trying to beat this point to death, but it just felt like finally there was a competitor, because Sega tried to compete with Nintendo on their own terms and lost, because you can't do that. And then PlayStation kind of they're the MTV of game consoles at the time.
So for me, I was the Sega, then the PlayStation kid. Yeah. So for me, I was a huge PS1 guy. Like, this was like, PS1 was just my favorite thing. I played Nintendo, and outside the Nintendo 64, Nintendo was never really like a big sticking point for me. The N64 is about the only time in my life that Nintendo was kind of like a real force to be reckoned with. But games like Resident Evil, Silent Hill, Parasite Eve, Dino Crisis, Final Fantasy, those kind of kept me in the PlayStation ecosystem in the earlier years. So coming off of the PS1 into the PS2, it was like, here's all these things that I really like, but then turned up to 11.
Oh yeah.
And then getting games like Grand Theft Auto and God of War,
Devil May Cry.
That was another one. That's where I was getting ready to go. Hang on one second. And then laughed so much I done coughed up a lung. But Devil May Cry was absolutely just phenomenal, and the control that you had in Devil May Cry, it felt so revolutionary. It felt like dual wielding pistols and juggling enemies in the air based on your action. It was like, I've never experienced anything this fast, this fluid, and this fun.
Yeah.
And then to know that this came from the team that made Resident Evil, I was like, this right here, next level. So then going into the Devil May Cry games, I was just hooked. And I have another crazy, just awesome memory. My church, that I
you're like, I
church,
so many people
Grand Theft Auto, church, Devil May Cry. All right. So the church that I later started attending and ended up actually becoming one of the pastors at, that way down the road. But I started to go visit my wife here, and we would go together, and we got involved in this program called Judgment House. And essentially,
I know what that is.
Yeah. Anyone who's listening, Judgment House is you turn your building into a giant play that visitors can then walk through, and it's kind of like an alternative to a haunted house. Instead of going in there for cheap scares, you go in there for a story. All right. Each room decorated and acted out by a different group of people, portraying three characters. There's a character who accepts Christ and goes to heaven. There's a character that denies Christ and goes to hell. And then there's the character that never makes a definitive decision either way. And you see how these stories play out. All of them have some sort of tragic episode, whether it be a car crash or a whatever. I don't even remember. I feel like we did car crashes all the time. DUI,
there was a lot of those.
Whatever. A lot of car crashes. I almost said school shooting, but I actually don't remember if we ever did one that was a school shooting. I think there was an actual shooting at a park or something like that. Or, anyways,
yeah,
we did something to where these three students would die every time. Different students every year, of course, because they're dead. And then we would act it out from room to room. So the way that I got involved is I was asked to act in one of these scenes. They needed an angry teenager that didn't want to do anything but play video games.
You're like, hey, all right.
Like, I can nail that. I can nail that role. I mean, I might have to dig real deep into my repertoire, but I was like, yeah,
do you have room for a guy who hates himself and watches anime?
Yeah, we can definitely tell where that kid's going. So I go into this church, and they give me this room. They're like, yeah, set up your PlayStation. I put posters on the wall. I had a Resident Evil 1, the HD remake for the GameCube. I had that poster on the wall. And I played Devil May Cry 2 on the PS2. That's what I played. And I would play, so basically in between scenes when it wasn't my turn, I'm playing Devil May Cry. And then in the scenes, I'm playing Devil May Cry. And I have to shoot some stuff, do some things. I have to pause the game, get mad, throw my controller down on the bed, and say a bunch of dang it. But yeah, I hate you. You don't love me. Whatever. Anyways, and I have to storm out of the room. Then whenever the crowd leaves, I go back into my room, play video games until the next scene. It was seriously amazing. So PlayStation 2, man, I've got like just loads of stories where like me and games and church all cross paths.
If we're talking favorites, there was a game called Gungrave. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I never played.
Yeah, it was kind of like it kind of felt like a prototype to Devil May Cry. I don't know if it came out before or after, but it was super smooth, unbelievably short. Though you could beat it in like 2 hours in an afternoon. And I love that you were like this reanimated corpse guy that had like two huge guns, and he also carried his coffin on his back with a chain around him, and you could like swing that and hit people with it too. And man, for some reason, I loved that. It was like it would give you a headache because you'd sit there and you'd play it. You'd be so focused on how cool it was and all the bright flashes. I'd play it like every Sunday afternoon and beat it like before I had to go to church.
PS2 in church, man. That thing was recruiting.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
I still think that game is unmatched in what they did with it. The way that guy, I forget that guy in that studio, I forget their names, but
Kimiko, whatever his
name. Yeah, they were really good at making those kind of like stoic character games where the entire story unfolds without dialogue. And because they made Eco or whatever, the boy with the horns or whatever.
Yep.
And that one was good too. I just sucked at it. But I think Shadow of the Colossus is one of the very few untouched, unmatched art games ever. It's so perfect. It's so good. Like it gives you a sword and it says, "Here, go kill Colossuses," and then the story unfolds while you do it. Because I hate cutscenes and I hate dialogue, but I loved watching all of that. And playing.
Man, that's crazy. How'd you play any Metal Gear games?
I'd skip it, or I'd go make a sandwich during it or something. When we got to like 4 or 5, I was done. I was so done with those cutscenes. Like I am not watching.
Oh, dude, I love it.
I'm not watching Brown Badger talk to me for 2 hours about the history of American psyops. Whatever there's
Metal Gear. Love it, dude. I love it.
I did have a great Metal Gear Solid story, which is my brother's story. If he were here to tell you, instead of fighting Sniper Wolf, because she's in the bunker and you're supposed to be in the snow and you're supposed to have a sniper battle with her. Mm-hmm. He didn't know it would work, but he just pulled out the rocket launcher and shot the bunker and it killed her. Like the entire boss fight, her life just went.
Dude, that's the best thing, man. It's like the fact that there's so many ways to do things in the Metal Gear games. It's incredible. So, speaking of Metal Gear, mm-hmm. You mentioned Metal Gear Solid 2, man. And Metal Gear Solid 2, I remember getting that game, sitting down with my brother. We put it on the TV. We put it in. We're like, all right, dude, Metal Gear Solid on the PS1 was one of my favorite experiences. It was so incredibly good. It was one of those games that my dad just randomly bought for us. Yeah. And we had no clue what it is. But like,
he said, it's got metal in it. Here you go.
Yeah. You angry little nerds. I bet you'll like this. But it had 2 discs. So we're like, oh, this is clearly going to be good if it's got 2 discs. We played the game and it was amazing. So then when Metal Gear Solid 2 came out, we're like, yes, let's go.
Better come with 4 discs.
That's right. It's a DVD player. It doesn't even need that many discs. So we get in there, we load it up, we start playing. We're like, who's this Raiden character? Why is he naked?
Yeah, why am I playing as him? I want to play a snake.
Why am I running around holding my pee-pee, trying to be quiet?
Doing cartwheels.
Doing cartwheels, yes. And I just remember just like having so much fun. Finding the inappropriate magazines in the lockers and using things like that to throw off the enemies. Like, it was mind-blowing. I can't believe games like this exist. This is what an experience, man. What an experience.
I'll never forget the stupid conversation you have with the girl you rescue when she's got the sticks in her hair. And it's like a life or death situation. He's like, what are those like chopsticks in your hair? And she's like, oh, they're whatever. It's like this whole meaningless conversation.
Yes.
To this day, I'll be sitting around thinking, man, that was a dumb conversation.
But it stuck with you.
Yeah, but I love that. I love that game so much. And it was so good in its delivery because like it shouldn't have worked because it's a bait and switch. Like, you don't play as Snake. Like, you play as this new guy, and that would usually fall flat for fans. But they did it so well that nobody cared.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm looking up this list because in case I forgot. Red Faction. Dude.
Yeah.
I had ridiculous amounts of fun playing Red Faction 1 and 2 because like you could destroy the environment multiplayer and had these dope weapons. Man, I probably I can't remember. I can't even keep count of the hours I lost like playing Red Faction at a friend's house. It's like, hey, get some like beer and pizza and just like pop in Red Faction. Like you were saying, like, well, let's play till 3 a.m. and then get up and go to school the next day.
Dude, and that's really the story of PlayStation 2 for me. It was just so much staying up late. Like whenever the SmackDown games came out, Know Your Role, Shut Your Mouth, Here Comes the Pain. I don't remember which one it was, but one of them had Fred Durst as a playable character because of his WrestleMania, appearance the year before, and he did the roll and dance after the music video. So I had the Undertaker doing the roll and dance dude. It was so freaking awesome, and of course, being a Limp Bizkit fan since day one, like I had Limp Bizkit and wrestling on the same disc. This is absolutely incredible. Like the PlayStation 2 provided so many experiences for me that just warranted my time and attention and staying up all night, because that's what my brother and I would do. We would go home after whatever we had to do during the day and we would play wrestling. Sometimes, dude, we'd play wrestling till 5 a.m. My dad would come in there and be like, y'all gotta get ready for school. We're like, all right, we're just waking up.
Yeah. He's like, I know you won't get up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Man. That's God, I'll never forget going to my brother's apartment and just, turning on the PlayStation and then making that like squeaking noise and then like hums. And then you had to push the reset button on the top to get it to work because it would just be red. And you push it until it's blue and it works. But just that, I don't know. It's just, there was something very special about, you try not to chalk things up to nostalgia. It's like, I guess what do you have today? And I'm sure kids today that are like our age, like 18, 19, love their systems too, but it seems like the systems don't last as long. And it seems like the vastness of the game catalog and its quality doesn't last. Like it seems like there's some that stand head and shoulders above everything else, but it's not just this mass quantity over. I mean, freaking Kingdom Hearts came out on the PlayStation 2, and like I don't think people realize, especially in America, or in the Western world, what that game did to expand female gaming. And I'm not saying that like in a neo woke sense of like girls in games, they need to play, but organically, what Kingdom Hearts did, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I remember.
I wasn't a huge fan of it, but you know,
I have. Oh, I just screwed up the focus on my camera. All right, so I have a friend. I had a friend growing up, and he was a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. Like this dude, I would be like, let's go hang out. Let's go do this stuff. Let's go do all these things. He's like, no, man, I'm just going to go home and play Kingdom Hearts. I'm like, come on, dude.
Was he a former linebacker?
Do what?
Was he a former linebacker? Is this the kind of guy we're talking about?
Yeah. It was actually, star quarterback, you know, all that good stuff.
Feathering hair.
Yeah, absolutely. Just boyish good looks, you know what I'm saying?
Well, he's got a tight white tee. He's always got a football under his arm with him.
100%. He looks like he came straight off the set of Dawson's Creek, but for whatever reason, all I wanted to play was Kingdom Hearts. Yeah. But I'm like, dude, I'd go.
His name
like you guys listening. Obviously, that is not the type of person that was playing Kingdom Hearts.
His name was Avery Mann.
Actually, his name was Cole. He was about 400 pounds.
Now he's not a he.
Whoa! No, he actually real talk. I just saw a picture of him not so long ago. This dude got up to 550, and now he is straight shredded.
Why'd he quit? He could have gone to 600.
I mean, he didn't want to be on TV, I guess, for that 600-pound life. This dude's got huge. He posted pictures of before and after himself the other day. Mad props to him. I'm sure he has no clue that I do this stupid show. Great dude at the time. But all that being said, he was a big boy, and all he wanted to do was sit around and play Kingdom Hearts. I'm like, come on, man. Like, let's go do stuff. Let's go whatever. And I remember him getting Kingdom Hearts, and he was like, nah, man, this is it. This is my life.
This is my life now. Yeah, this is.
He is like, he was not coming off of it. So
I got a lot on my plate.
Yeah, I'm a busy man. I got a lot to manage here.
He still got a hole in his ceiling.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so I remember when Kingdom Hearts came out, it changed people that played video games. Like it was like, no, we are like, he wasn't the only person like that. For me, I was never a big Disney fan. So when I saw Goofy was in a video game, I'm like, yep, I'm out. I still to this day have never really played a Kingdom Hearts game. I own them all on PS3, PS4, Xbox. I own tons of them. But I tried playing Kingdom Hearts on PS3.
Yeah.
Played the first couple hours. I was stuck on this island, couldn't figure it out. You got tired of hearing Goofy going, oh,
I'm going to be honest with you, man. Like I played it too. I bought it when it first came out. And I like the idea behind it. You know, it's Final Fantasy meets Disney or whatever. But like as a game, and I know we sound so stupid because we've beaten harder games and like 10-year-olds beat this game, but I got to like Clocktown. I couldn't figure out where to go. And then I realized, oh yeah, you got to talk to every single person. Like, I'm not doing that. I just want to smash things. Like, I just want to hit stuff. I couldn't figure out how to get off that island for the longest time. And then when I did, I was like, now I'm in a Clocktown and I can't figure out where I'm going.
Yeah. I think I might have got off the island, might have went. Either way, I wasn't 100% sure on what I was supposed to do, and I lost interest. Now, I still own these games. As a matter of fact, I just recently picked up another Kingdom Hearts game, another version of them, actually. So, who knows? I may eventually, but that brings me to a point in time where things really changed on the gaming landscape. Modding consoles became so much easier.
Yeah.
When Final Fantasy XI came out, the PlayStation 2 released an adapter that you could plug to the back of it, back of the console, which I think the picture you sent me, you might have one. It's like a little attachment piece that comes to the back of it.
I think so. It may already be on there.
Yeah, I
think it's already on there because all the peripherals I got were like the multi-tap, which, I'm going to have 6 people over here to play a PlayStation 2 game, right? And then like the iToy, which, I'm going to play with a 2005, camera on a video game system.
But you know what? You might. You never know.
I'd rather try to land the plane in Top Gun with the power glove than use that thing.
Heck yeah. So I can't. Okay, so I don't see it on yours. Actually, I don't. No. I'm looking now. I don't see it. But there's an attachment that goes on the back. This attachment had a slot where you could plug up a hard drive.
I remember that. Yeah.
Then you could buy a boot disk that would boot the hard drive if you had all these components. From there, you could soft mod your console. You could format the hard drive, and then you could put in the boot disk. You put it in. You boot up the software that comes with it. I forget what it's called. I have one sitting over here beside me. I don't know that it's hooked up yet or right now. But then you could say, all right, I want to install a game. Grab a game, put it in the tray, burn the game to the hard drive, pull the game out, boot it up. Now, this doesn't really work for every game, and like Sony first party games, like God of War, stuff like that, I could never get to work on there. As a matter of fact, I had Haunting Ground, a Capcom, horror game, Resident Evil style horror game. I installed it on my console, sold my copy of the game, went to go boot it up and play it. It doesn't work. So I sold my copy of the game and don't have it now. That being said, though, this changed the gaming landscape for me because no longer was I limited to the $8 an hour, salary I was working or job I was working. And I couldn't afford all the games. So I was able to go get the monthly Flip It Pass from Blockbuster, which I know listeners have heard me talk about here on the podcast before. And I would just go rent a game, burn it to the hard drive, rent another game, burn it to the hard drive. And my buddies and my brother, we'd all have our own Flip It Pass. We'd go together on the weekends, rent everything that came out, burn them, play them, delete them, whatever. And I remember when Need for Speed Underground 2 came out, Dan,
I remember that one.
Fast and the Furious is at its prime. This is when it's hot. I'm talking, I was driving an Eclipse. My buddy had a Jetta, like our other buddy had a little Nissan, and he was trying his hardest to turn into a car. He was trying to transition into a car. And dude, I'm telling you, we had the loud exhaust. We had the aftermarket rims. We had the underglow kits, the whole nine. Some of us had body kits, and we were, F is for family. We were all freaking grouping that junk together. And when Need for Speed Underground 2 came out, everyone called out of work.
Yeah.
And our friends over at Blockbuster, as soon as the copies came in, they held one back behind the counter for us. Everyone is over at my buddy Luke's house. Shout out to Luke if you're listening. We all had our own CRTVs because back then we didn't have flat screen LCDs. All right, everyone. I had a 13-inch that I traveled with. Okay, little 13-inch that used to be my wife's. I bought her a 27-inch for Christmas one year, and her 13-inch became my travel TV. So set it up, set the PlayStation 2 up, and as soon as that game came in, we ordered Pizza Hut. We had those little cards where you buy a pizza, get a large for free. Those little fundraiser cards. So we would all buy those at the same time, order pizzas. So we had 4 or 5 pizzas in there. The Hess station down the road. Now, the reason why I'm telling you all this, because you really got to get into the early 2000s. This is what it was. You know what I'm saying? So this game is installing on the different hard drives. All right.
Yeah.
So we're all like, we're putting it in, download it, put it in, download it, put it in, download it. Everyone goes, we get all this food, we stack Mountain Dew to the ceiling because the Hess station, you could get like 3 12 packs for like $5 or something like that, or $8. I mean, back when sodas were cheap, now they're freaking $12 a piece. And dude, it was time. And I remember we turned it on the main screen because my buddy Luke had like a 32-inch, big TV in with a sound system, everything. So while it's downloading on the last console, we fire it up over here, and the bass starts hitting. We're listening. The Finch is on there. You got some freaking awesome, back then Exhibit and Ludacris and all those guys were the top of the rap game. And it was just, man, it was so cool. And the car customization, I mean, we all spent all night customizing our cars, like everyone. Now collectively, we all spent like $60 a piece in food and drinks.
Yeah,
we all could have bought the game. But that's not what we did. We rented the game, passed it amongst each other, and which I think only 2 or 3 of us actually had modded PS2s. Everyone had modded OG Xboxes, but still, because it did take like 30 to 40 minutes, sometimes longer, to burn a disc to the hard drive. So like we weren't going to sit there all night and do that. But man, once we got going, it was an incredible time. Underground 2. I mean, just just racing and racing and racing and racing, and just listening to that soundtrack, that 2005 soundtrack, man. That was just, I'm telling you, like, we missed a lot of work.
You're like Nelly had already set the stage previously for what would become Exhibit in Little John.
That's right. Hey, man, Little John and Ying Yang Twins and the Eastside Boys. Oh my gosh, dude, that was when it was. So we're riding on the road in the Eclipse and the Cavalier and the Focus and all that stuff, and we everyone's got a system in there. I had 2 MTX 12s and a amp. I got red lights all in there. I got red lights tucked into my dash. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you push this again, listeners, this ages everything. The CD face, because they would pop off because people would steal your CD players.
You had to pop it off and put it in your pocket.
That's right. You had to pop it off, put it in a little protector, and keep it in your pocket, or somebody steal your CD player. So the way I had my light set up in my vehicle was it was all ran in through the remote wire of my CD face. So as soon as you clicked it on, everything under the seats, everything lit up red. I'm telling you, man, I was living that life. Need for Speed Underground 2 changed me. I was driving fast, and my Cavalier at the time, because I had wrecked my Eclipse, my Cavalier. Like, if you get about 90, 95, the lights would dim. you could drive hard and fast enough to where your headlights didn't work anymore. It was good, man. It was good. But I did everything. 100% completion, Need for Speed Underground 2. I unlocked everything there was to unlock in that game. Absolutely adored that game.
It's the Loo Bros Podcast. We're going to talk about video games and mow your grass. Loo Bros Podcast. We're going to talk about butts and slurp and penises. So stay tuned.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump way into the twat, this week's official topic. And we're going to talk about our favorite PS2 games. So we've brought on Dan, we brought on Zeke to talk about, we had to have real gamers in the house because all of us posers over here. And we're going to talk about real games. We're going to talk about PS2. Kalai, you said that you had some PS2 games that you really liked. So what I want to do is I want to go around the horn. Now, the way the screen's laid out for me is it's Kalai, then Zach, then Dan, then Joe, then Zeke, then your boy right here. So what we'll do is we'll go in that order. Start with you, Kalai. Why don't you tell us one of your favorite PS2 games?
Well, one of my favorite PS2 games that I absolutely had to have a PS2 for. Actually, funny story. The PS2s were very, very hard to get. So Jim and I were at a mall, and I was like, there's a GameStop. I want to go see if they have a PS2 because it's around Christmas time. And of course, you can't get anything PS2 related during the Christmas time. And
still can't.
Right. And my husband's like, oh, they're not going to have them. I'm like, well, we don't know that. Let me just go in. I have to have a PlayStation 2. And he's like, no. They're probably not going to have them. I was like, look, I'll make a bet. If they have one, you're going to have to buy me one. He's like, okay. I walked in. They're like, yeah, we have one.
Nice.
So I walked out.
$3,000.
I walked out of GameStop with my PlayStation 2, and the one game I desperately wanted on that system, Final Fantasy VII.
Nice.
There you
go. So
that's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Zeke's like, I beat Elden Ring, but this podcast broke me.
Wait a second. Final Fantasy VII is on PlayStation 2?
Yeah. You can play it on there.
You can. It's backwards compatible.
Yeah.
She's like, my favorite game on there is Final Fantasy VII.
Hey,
wait a minute.
That's a good one to play on there. So, dude,
Very
I played.
Confused.
Oh my gosh, PS2. It's one of the best systems
Yeah, it's
ever
premiered on the PlayStation 2.
All right, Zach.
I'll let you have it.
Burnout Revenge.
That's a good one.
Oh, it was so. When I first got my PS2, I got 3 games It came in like a little weird like box, I guess. It was like some multi-holiday pack or whatever that they sold. And it was Burnout Revenge, Ford Mustang Racing or whatever, the Ford Racing, whatever the crap it was, the shitty racing game that shouldn't have ever existed. It was just as bad as Cruisin' USA.
What? Well, what?
Cruisin'.
Hey,
sounds like you got the game pack. The parents didn't love me game pack.
Hey, it came with Burnout, and that game gave me hours and hours and hours and hours of enjoyment.
They were like, we gave you Burnout because this is what you are.
Actually, I think it was from my grandparents. So my parents actually bought me the PS2. My parents bought me the PS2, and then they bought me WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2008.
Yes,
when I first got it, and it was Christmas time, so the month after it came out, so I was super hyped up. Funny story behind that is like, and when I finally figured out what GameStop was, like a year later, I traded it in, and my dad got super pissed off because he was like, "Why? I'll never spend $60 on a game for you ever again. You traded in that game and got $14 for it." He was so upset. He was like, "I'm never buying you a video game ever again." I was like, "Oh," and he never did. To this day, he never bought me another video game. My mom bought me an Xbox 360 for Christmas when I was 14.
This is like the Bart Simpson not being able to watch the fucking Itchy and Scratchy movie. He's like, and you'll never watch that movie. Even if I become the Supreme Court Justice? Yup.
So upset.
You're like, Dad, you bought life insurance and you're still alive. Like you're getting cheated like every second of the day with your stuff, man.
Oh my gosh, that's really funny. All right, Dan.
Man, probably Tekken Tag Tournament. I put an unbelievable amount of hours into that game. Like that, I grew up on Street Fighter.
That's Street Fighter
1 and 2.
I got that Street Fighter.
I've loved fighting it. I stopped loving them when like the joysticks came out on machines after the PlayStation 2. But up until the PlayStation 2, I loved fighting games. Man, I got every single character. I got 300 game bowling and Tekken bowling on that. Unlocked every map, everything. Yeah, I 100% a Tekken Tag Tournament because I loved that game.
Nice, very nice, very nice. All right, Joe. Wait, sorry, Zeke. I got more.
Oh shit! All right, I'm gonna go fast. Ty the Tasmanian Tiger. All of these games, dope as hell.
No, you get one game at a time. What are you doing?
No, I'm gonna go fast. Watch. If you want to get high and play some crazy games, Woody Woodpecker and Frogger the Great Quest and Astro Boy, do that.
Again, men talking about how fast they're going to go, and he's talking about his woodpecker.
Until the end of time. That's a real RPG. None of this fucking Final Fantasy bullshit. That's it. Castlevania,
Lament of Innocence. Yeah, that's a good one.
Fuck yeah! Look, okay.
He's dropping $4,000 worth of
games. Those are PlayStation 2 games.
I dropped that on the last podcast with Darrell, Gungrave.
Oh hell yeah! Okay, Maximo. You got to play Maximo. Those are games. These are hard. You got to play these. And then
I like how he thinks the video podcast is going up.
It is. I'm recording it, and Dan's recording it.
Oh, he is? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Zeke just starts eating the games as he's talking.
He's like, I'm just fucking going, guys. I'm not doing this round table shit.
I have a wall of PlayStation 2 games. Ratchet and Clank is probably my favorite. But
Jack and Daxter.
It's a good game. Jack and Daxter.
Yeah. Jack and Daxter, probably not as good as Ratchet and Clank. That's what I think. I don't know.
What's that NES game you love so much that you beat like every week? You get the poster.
Star Tropics.
Star Tropics, yeah.
That game's amazing.
The game's cryptic.
Yeah, man, it is.
Hey, while we're talking about good games, Sly Cooper, Among Thieves.
Oh
yeah.
I thought we were going around the horn. I guess we're just shouting out games now.
Zeke reaches through and chokes Joe.
Zeke's going through all his games, and he's like, "Here's all of the games that you're going to list already. I already know what they are. You're all done. Good night."
Listen, if you can get high and beat Astro Boy on the PlayStation 2, you are a true gamer.
All right, gauntlet thrown, boys.
You can't beat this. This game is unplayable.
Now define high.
No,
he's like
Darrell after church on Sundays after he's had his fried chicken and mashed potatoes.
This is when Zeke starts slinging his moonshine.
Dude, hey, that's right. He was like, dude, I got to introduce you to my friend Zeke. He plays games and makes moonshine. That's how you told me.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. Like,
I make moonshine.
Nice.
He's also an impeccable drummer.
Exotic flavors of moonshine or just like plain moonshine?
Yes. I make whiskey too. Like I'm a distiller. I work at a distillery down here. And
sweet, man.
I don't know if I want to dox myself, but yeah.
No, you don't have to.
He's like, let me count my guns first.
You don't have to, but my husband loves whiskey, so I would love to talk to you afterwards.
Ooh.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to buy your wares.
Wow, as I have a whiskey shelf
over and unders.
Yeah. It's called Sugar Tit Moonshine because the area I live in is called Sugar Tit.
Okay.
So
that's what I call my wife. Like,
oh, good. You are like the millionth person to make that joke.
He's like,
I get it every day.
He's like, fuck you and your joke.
Yeah.
That's all right. I'm gonna go up there and call it anyway.
Is it the same one where you make your whiskey?
Yes. So I do like the main
no
thing
joke for the whiskey though.
Yeah. The main thing's moonshine, but I do like a cream liqueurs. I do like that kind of stuff. I've got some exotic flavors. I do like pineapple, like there's not a lot of pineapple moonshine, but I do that. Apple pie is a good thing.
I put pineapple on my pizza.
Dad,
yeah.
You put apple pie on your pizza?
Not yet.
Oh man, we're doing really good.
Oh, that's what's up.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
All right, Joe. Well, since friggin' Zeke just flex all over all of us, watch this. I'm a 5 games you ain't even heard of. That's what I'm gonna do. What's up?
Fuck it. I mean, I guess I'll tell my story about my favorite bro, my guy Samanosuke. Onimusha's fucking amazing, and I want the second and third one on PlayStation. Please, God, now. Like, those games are so good.
Yeah.
Like the chair's open, God.
Yeah, I really want to know what the holdup is.
God, just give me 2 and 3. Like in 4, like I'll take 4. 4's not bad. It's not good.
What was it? That was the one that was on Xbox?
No, it was on PlayStation.
Which one was the one that was on Xbox?
Warriors. That game's a piece of shit. No, Warriors is on PlayStation 2 as well. What the hell was the one on Xbox?
I don't remember. I just remember there being one on Xbox, and
You're
it might have been
Sonic
on PlayStation
2016.
2 as well.
I don't know. Zeke, here's a sidebar for you. Tell whoever in your company that paid somebody to make their website, they should never pay that man ever the fuck again. It cuts off like 2 sides of the website.
Like,
it's like find it, and I'm just like, I can't see if it's set where it says it just skips from like Charleston and just says Eston, and it doesn't. I can't find half the.
Fix your shit.
I have no control over that, and no one made our website for us. So that should tell you who did it.
It was an immaculate conception.
It's fucking Metachlorians on that website. It's a fucking Jedi. Watch out.
No, like it's like I'm looking at it in portrait mode, but it needs to be in landscape mode.
I know. I definitely know.
It's a nice
I was going to say,
it's a nice isosceles triangle mode.
He's like, I know, faggle. I know.
Like it lets me scroll over to the right, but it won't let me scroll to the left.
Yep.
Hey, on the bright side, Zeke, at least I can read your read your bio, but I can't really do much for the rest of the crew there.
Yeah. So down here, you can't even buy our liquor like online anyway. So it sucks. Like
illegal or like people just don't have internet.
No,
so
both.
We have internet, man. That's how I play games.
I'm from South Carolina too.
As he's on the podcast right now, looking at all of us.
He's got a wall of hamsters and wheels powering it.
There's antennas on their heads.
But
I'm laughing like I don't live 10 minutes from Zeke.
He's like,
I'm like an hour and a half from you guys. Like we don't have internet here.
As you said that, it just reminded me of that Fairly Odd Parents episode where the fucking where Cosmo wander on the wheel while he's playing the video game to keep him alive.
Darrell's kid gets off the wheel. Get back on the fucking wheel.
I'm trying to play my game.
Oh man, there are distribution laws that are totally different for liquor than they're like for wine and beer. Like you can order that stuff online, but to order liquor, like from the South, you have to like have an import-export license or be a liquor store.
Yep.
Hey, in all fairness, you could always come live where I'm at because they say you can have a fucking still on your front porch and they don't give a fuck.
That's in the bylaws.
Literally.
That exact sentence is in the bylaws. We don't give a fuck.
We don't give a fuck.
Yeah. You have to go buy an HOA for that, or
all the distillers live in one suburb. They're all just like, "Hey, Mike, how's it going? How's that whiskey coming along? Oh, good. How's your brandy doing?
She's fine.
Ain't no distiller named Mike.
She's Sugar Tits.
Sugar Tits is doing fine. Holy crap! All right, I guess it's my turn. All right. Since
Who are you?
Oh, we're still talking about games? Fuck.
I mean, did we ever talk about games?
I thought this was Moonshine Podcast.
He's like,
now, apparently.
speaking of a part 2 and 3 we need.
All right,
take release this week's episode episodically for the next 3 weeks. Got it, guys.
And I'm gonna cap it with Snyder talk in the beginning and the end, so most everybody tunes out, and they never even get to the fact that we talk about really good stuff.
At least he knows it's shit. I'm just sitting here hurting Dan's soul right now because he's like, I love it, but I hate it at the same time.
I don't think he can admit
You literally can't hurt my feelings, man.
Yeah, he watches shitty Snyder Cut movies. You can't hurt those people's feelings. You just
Dan's
can't.
like, wait a minute, I'm a writer. You can't hurt my feelings.
I loved Black Adam, dude. Come on.
Oh my
That's
god,
fair.
really?
It's one of my favorite movies that come out the past 10 years.
I fell asleep within the first 45 minutes of the movie.
It's Terminator 2, but with The Rock.
Yeah, that's good. I like it a lot. All right, so I decided I'd go out of the box. I know what everybody's thinking. I know what you're thinking. You're going to bring up Resident Evil Code Veronica. And you're going to bring up and some Resident Evil.
He's going to say Silent Hill.
Shut up, Siri. Freaking. She just started talking to me as
he's going to say Silent Hill. Shut up, Siri. What? Am I your AI assistant now?
No, as soon as I started talking, she's like, "I'm sorry, I didn't get that." Freaking trick.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
Siri's like, "Are you still talking about the Snyderverse?" Unsubscribed. I think Siri just canceled herself.
I was about to say the only way to kill Siri is to keep on about the Snyderverse. Hey, you know what? When SnyderCon happens in April, and you boys are going to eat it.
SnyderCon.
He's like that thing that none of y'all will ever watch or know about.
That's right.
You hosted the event in your backyard. Darrell's like, I'm selling tickets to SnyderCon in my backyard, guys.
That's right. We got internet here in the South.
I'm gonna put up a tent. Zeke's gonna bring Snyder Cut official moonshine.
You want to?
I'd rather not.
And Dan's presenting.
It's a gallon.
There's 5 straws in it. Everyone just drinks from it.
That's right. Basically, since we're a cult, we're all just going to drink from the moonshine, and we're all going to die together.
Jokes on everybody. The moonshine's not made with nice water. It's made with Zack Snyder's spit
or tears.
I can do that.
He's like,
I can make it out of spit. Let's do it.
Yeah.
He knows the chemistry, man, for real.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. All right, so I'm going to bring a series of games to start with. 2. Okay, The Getaway and then The Getaway Black Monday. Have you guys ever played The Getaway? Okay.
Only when the Snyder Cut is involved.
That's really good. All right. We all know you like that movie. All right, so check it out. The Getaway was made by Sony London, and it is a Grand Theft Auto clone when all those were coming out. But it is freaking awesome. Like, it is such a great game. Like, one of my favorite PS2 games of all time. Like, if you know what?
Was it based on the film?
I don't think so. But it's like a Guy Ritchie, like,
I hope not.
nonsense style movie. Hang tight.
Was that the French film with all the weird shots or whatever?
No.
Was that The Getaway?
That was the 64 one. There was another one in 94 that had Alec Baldwin, Michael Madison, Kim Basinger.
Is that how we say it?
Basinger, Basinger. I don't fucking know. Basinger.
Say whatever I want.
Basinger.
Bazinga.
Oh yeah, I did play that.
The Getaway, baby.
Oh hell yeah! There you go.
And then the sequel. Look at that.
The third one is like
freaking
Getaway
games.
3 got a license.
Darrell brings out his own spotlight because he didn't turn his TV on today.
I didn't. I didn't. I'm just going to go with the 3 monitors. So, yes, the Getaway and the Getaway Black Monday. If you haven't played these, you ain't played PlayStation. What's up?
What's up?
Have you ever played this obscure British
Getaway?
Yeah, I did.
He's like, let me flex with Getaway, guys.
He's like, if you
This guy's play like Maximo and Astro Boy in here. This motherfucker's like, the Getaway.
He's like, if you didn't play Beat 'em and Eat 'em, you're not a SNES fan. You're a NES fan, whatever.
Hey,
you don't have Yo Noid? You ain't a real fan.
Noid.
Man.
Hey, check it out. I got the Snyder Cut on one screen. I got the Getaway on the other. F with your boy.
I got Limp Bizkit in the back.
I keep roaming. I saw you. All right, Kalai, what you got?
Street Fighter Super Turbo Edition, the block game. I love that game where you had to make the gems.
Yeah.
I played so many hours of that with my friends and with Jim. Oh, really like that game.
Yeah, that was a fun one. I bought that one, actually. They had one of those, it might be that same one, or one of the variations of it. They had it on the PlayStation 3. That was like one of the 30 games for $30 sales they had years and years ago. And that was one of them. It's freaking awesome.
All right, wait. You know what? Since we've all been roasting each other all night anyways, we need some interaction in the Facebook group or the Discord. Should we do a roast episode where we all roast each other?
Let's go. Let's find out.
That's going to win.
Leave some interactions. Yeah, say, hey, we should definitely roast Darrell.
Do it. Bring it on, baby.
Easy. I'm going to make it first person to make Joe cry wins a free pledge game that Joe never finished.
The game
like the actual ones I didn't finish, like one of them.
Hey,
one left now.
They're not finished until the episode's
up. So they ain't finished till the episode's over.
We call that I guess they're just indefinitely not finished. I guess. I should just do one long ass Facebook stream where I'm like, "Hey, we're gonna talk about all the games I beat."
Do it. You won't do it? I dare you.
It's like 30 seconds.
Yeah, it'll be like Zeke mode. I beat this one. It was good. I liked it. There's colors and people. I liked it.
Are there colored people though?
Wow.
Whoa.
Oh.
Diversity.
Let's talk about that.
I've heard the Asians are bringing that back.
And war.
Colored people.
I heard there's another disease from some foreign country that's worse than COVID now. What's next?
Man.
Gonorrhea.
Is it called inflation?
Yes.
I don't know. It already went through Darrell's roof.
That it did. I got a 4 foot by 8 foot hole to prove it. And no sheetrock on my ceiling.
Why don't you just put like a fireman's pole so you can pretend it's like fucking Ghostbusters in your
Well,
house?
we had a stripper pole there, but it freaking fell over when the ceiling rotted out.
Well, you shouldn't have hopped on the pole, buddy.
I've been doing E2M. I thought I was thin enough. I thought you touched 60 pounds, I could twirl.
You got that Carmen Electra tape?
Now we buffed it. We buffed his head.
Like the Chelsea Handler tape.
We buffed his head so good it was like it was like sticky, so he like thought he could spin around on the top of his head.
That's right. I did the spin-a-rooney.
Wait, isn't Zach a veteran?
Yeah.
All right. Then, like, how am I supposed to roast this guy? Like,
oh, you can roast me on it. I'm one of the best shit talkers in the world.
That's what I'm saying. How are we supposed to compete with that? Is what I'm saying.
Just end every joke with "Thank you for your services."
I was about to say that.
I wasn't going to praise him. I was going to say this guy's probably been through the pressure cooker of insults. Like,
yeah. I mean,
man, do you get really excited every summer when like Yingling comes out with their like save the troops like style bottles or whatever?
He's like, this makes up for my trauma.
Like that Blue Ribbon and Yingling always like, hey, you got to buy this because we'll give money to the like government and shit.
Yep.
Yeah,
no, you see, I support real veteran-owned companies.
Oh. Like those dudes making coffee. With their rifles and shit.
Black Rifle. Matt Best is really cool. I've met him.
All right, cool.
You could have just made up any name.
Best Matt Best.
They also made a whiskey company too.
Yeah, I know.
Lead Slinger Spirits. They actually really enjoy it. I like the woody taste of it.
Slinger Spirits.
So PS2 games, right?
Yeah,
PS2 games. Kalai. Oh, my turn.
It is your turn. We were
It's
waiting
my
on you.
turn. All right. Oh, my turn.
Thank
All
you for
right,
your service.
By the way,
thank you for my cervix.
Did you see the T-shirt he's wearing to a PlayStation discussion?
Yeah.
He's always doing
Told you
dumb
it was a
shit. He
poser.
always does dumb shit.
You said it was a PlayStation podcast, but you were praising Game Pass earlier.
This guy just said he always does dumb shit.
Thank you for
that is the lamest, most vague insult.
Thank you for your services.
Not wrong.
It's like a little brother insult.
Don't worry, Joe. I'll always let you thank me for my service.
Whoa.
I lost my train of thought. Star Wars Battlefront 2.
To an IED.
That went, it went up in smoke.
That's so
I'm going to hell. I'm going straight down there. Dan, I'm taking you with me too. We're gonna ride Ford Racing 2 down the hill together.
Holy crap! Ford Racing 2.
You can ride copies of Mein Kampf down the hill. Apparently.
Nah, man, he sucked.
Boo! Joe's not allowed to roast anybody. He's been fired from the show.
It's the official position of this podcast that Hitler sucked.
That's facts.
I mean, I don't know. I kind of got to get with Kanye on this one.
Oh,
all right. See you guys.
I do not support the message on this podcast.
You should have seen Zeke's eyes. He goes, "What?"
All right, guys. This has been the Loo Bros Podcast. We're gonna land the plane right in the World Trade Center.
Oh my god!
These are the guys that left over comic books.
I feel that after this podcast, I have to take a shower because it's so dirty.
I think Hitler's bad. Okay.
I feel like I didn't take a shower in preparation for this podcast.
Oh my god!
I'm sweating right now, laughing so hard.
Preparation H for this podcast.
Yeah, Hitler's bad guy. I'm cool. I can throw this stuff away anytime I'm cool.
This is what's going to be played at Darrell's work. During your DEI training.
The worst part is all of his coworkers know he podcasts because he tried starting a podcast for the MLO business.
I know,
they're gonna roll over to Loo Bros this week and be like, "Okay, we're definitely closing the doors now."
They would be like, "We were fine with the Snyder stuff, but
we're definitely closing the
That's
door."
a bridge too far. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. By the way,
someone say that's easy too far.
Whoa, ye need to tell us what you've been playing.
What?
We did that.
Oh my god! His brain just short circuited.
I just erased all of that. Everything we ever said and did. I
guess it's my turn because
no. Dan, give us another PS2 game, please.
Go ahead.
Another one. There's only 3.
Another one.
I mentioned this on Darrell's podcast earlier. I'm gonna say it again because I love it so much and I wanted more opinions on it. But Rygar, it was a remake from the NES classic where you're like this Greek dude with a shield and like comes back to you with like a chain or whatever. It was a precursor to God of War in that combat sense, and it was with the button mashing whenever you're like fighting bosses or whatever, like timed hits. Yeah,
Rygar, the Legendary Adventure.
Yeah, I love that game. Everything about it. Like it's kind of funny because some of the design is like open because they didn't finish it. They just hit it.
They didn't finish this one either.
Yeah, they didn't really finish
the NES one.
Yeah, it's fantastic though. That I mean, I could keep going, but if I can just name one, I'd go with Rygar. I love that game.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right. Zeke, do you have any more that you'd like to share with us, or did you blow your load already?
He for real has a whole thing over there.
Yeah. X-Men Legends is dope.
Oh, fantastic game.
I was gonna bring that up.
Yep.
Yeah, it's over there. SpongeBob, Bikini Bottom, that just got a remake. That's really good.
Yep.
Actually, the James Bond games, like all the
Nightfire, bro. Nightfire.
Yeah.
Agent Under Fire. Yeah.
Yep.
From Russia with Love.
Yeah.
You can't
Octowiener.
Man, I actually really like Downhill Domination or
Me
whatever.
too. Yeah, Domination. Amazing. Yeah,
dude.
Unlocking everything in that game is a pain in the ass.
Yes, it is. I broke a controller playing that game.
That game is awesome.
Smashing it.
Oh yeah, some of those last cups in that. Oh my god.
Yes.
Like when you get 90% done with the track and then you smack into a fucking tree and die.
Yes.
You're like, oh, I hate my life right now. I gotta do this whole race over again. It's like playing Wreckfest now. And like you go through a figure 8 and someone smashes into your car and T-bones you and you DNF and then you gotta do the whole race over again.
He's like, and then Cindy doesn't go to the prom with you. And then
it's like that fucking Disney Channel movie where the girl dies in the car on the bridge.
Oh man, that was a great movie.
I know.
Dead Broad Turn.
Right, like a Lifetime movie now. It's like the plot to like 90% of Lifetime movies now.
That was a great movie though, for real.
Yeah. What the fuck was that called again?
Susie Q.
Susie Q. Yeah.
All right, Joe, it's your turn. Some diarrhea of the mouth time. Let's go.
That's the entire episode, dude. One of my favorite PS2 games, which I have talked about on the podcast, it's called Blood Will Tell. Where you collect like body parts. You're like this samurai who loses like all his limbs and shit, and then you got to go get him back by killing all these monsters. And the game is like,
how do you hold a sword?
So first, like your limbs are like these like kind of like blades, and then you get your arms back, you get your eyes back, and then you have different powers as you get like each thing back. I know Zeke's played it.
Yeah, it's based off Darrell.
Yeah, the game is fucking awesome. Like it's such a good hidden gem, and like it's so fucking expensive now. Like, and I believe it's a Sega published game too. It's expensive as shit though. Like that game.
You know what's a great hidden gem? Hoffa.
Nobody's gonna get that, Dan.
All right, what's next?
I don't know what
Darrell's
that is.
next.
Jimmy Hoffa? Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Jimmy Hoffa is. I'm just not acknowledging you.
No, I don't know what that is.
That would be a hidden gem. It would be a hidden gem, not a hidden gem.
There you go.
Oh.
All right. Check it out. You guys ever play the hidden gem State of Emergency?
Yes.
That is a game that I love to hate because I remember getting it, and I think it was a Rockstar published game, and it was so cool because it's just hordes and hordes of people, and you're just cutting them up, shooting them up, and just blood and guts everywhere. But I don't remember ever being able to beat that game. I don't remember if I knew how to beat like the actual mission structures. I just remember playing it and just destroying crowds of random people. And I would play it because I was like, man, this is awesome. And when it was just stopped being awesome, I was like, man, this really sucks. And then I'd go away from it for a while, and I'd come back, and I'm like, man, this is really awesome. And then all of a sudden, I was like, dude, this really sucks. But for whatever reason, when I think about the PlayStation 2, I think about that game.
That's like one of those games where, like, like you get the fire, you get the flamethrower in that game, and like the people just come out of the mall and you just incinerate them. And I played that mission so many times because I died so many times in that game. Yeah. It's like one of those old NES games where you get so good at the opening few missions because you had to play them repeatedly.
Yes.
And you had to get good because there wasn't like people on YouTube to tell you like, oh yeah, this is what you do. That didn't exist yet. You had to game facts that shit and read like somebody's horrible ass game. Then he read like Colin Moriarty's like first fucking game facts guide.
That's right.
Where the people like tried to like draw things in fucking like computer images.
Yes.
Fucking terrible. Oh god.
Yeah. That's the best, man.
Or like cheatcc.com for your Grand Theft Auto codes.
Dude, I've got a book on my bookshelf over here right now that's like 15,000 codes from PlayStation.
Scholastic Book Fair. You're like you'd go in there and you'd be like, oh, they have a book on cheat codes for this year.
Oh my gosh, tips and tricks. We would go to the IGA, right? We'd go to the local grocery store every Sunday, and that's because that's when my parents like to do grocery shopping. And I would beg for an X-Men comic and the latest tips and tricks. And if they told me no, I'd go in there and I'd freaking be writing stuff down on my hand. I'd be writing codes down on my hand. I kid you not. I bring a pen, stealing codes at the IGA.
He did the same thing with Playboy.
I did. I drew them on my hand.
He just wrote the stories. It's for the articles.
He's like, now I know what friggin' Charlie Sheen's favorite yogurt is. I didn't know that before this.
I was about to start counting down like the stutter, like 3, 2, 1 to finish that joke.
He had to let his brain reset because he.
I had to think of somebody that would actually be in Playboy at that time.
Dude, that was the thing.
Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, before
he was
got
in
AIDS.
He was in Playgirl, not Playboy, but okay.
Ooh.
The articles, dumbass.
Articles?
Yeah, that's what everybody got Playboy for.
Was the title like Charlie's Sheen or something like that?
My favorite flavor of Brogurt.
Yo, Brogurt would be a fucking sweet company. It's like, like all these dude flavored yogurts, like with some crazy ass like masculine names for them.
Gross.
Is it called Dude Cream?
It's just Brogurt.
I feel really out of this discussion on Playboy, guys. Let's
go deeper into Brogurt.
Like, let me hear your
I want to see your flavor titles and ads. Come on, I want to see.
Like, I need your sales pitch.
All right, check it out. Check it out.
Just a bunch of shirtless dudes.
It's like Axe body spray flavor.
Wait, 3 honorable mentions before we go. Pac-Man World 2.
Wait, it's not your turn.
Oh.
You just said we were going to go.
No,
what do you mean? You just said, before we go.
What?
Oh my God, Darrell, you're fired today. You're like, hey, what you been playing? And now you're like, we're gonna go.
Like, halfway into the topic.
I'm sorry, Kalai, would you like to list another PS2 game?
It's Kalai's turn.
I would actually.
Right. I would love to hear your PS2 game since Darrell's trying to land the plane early. And
I did not. I was
mad at me.
I was saying it was her. We were talking about Brogurt not going. I did say we were talking about Brogurt.
Like every yogurt has like a half inch of semen in it.
All right.
Only mixed with the finest semen.
Hey, just like regular yogurt, it would have a sour aftertaste.
All right.
Oh dear Lord.
High in protein.
Can you make moonshine out of that?
Yummy.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you can.
He's like, I make it from corn. So.
Yeah. All right, how about Rapper the Rapper?
Oh yeah,
that's good.
Kick, punch, it's all in the mind.
I like that game. I thought that game was
What else
cute.
do you have from the commercial?
Oh, I've actually played the game though. It's a good game.
What a douche.
All the time. He knows it.
They put that junk out on PS4, man. It was awesome.
Dan, you're my new favorite.
I'm sorry.
Can you
Can you just continue to roast Joe so I don't have to?
It makes my life a whole lot easier. I just sit back.
I think Joe's cool.
Wow. Thanks, Dan.
He's got like a kid and stuff, man. It takes like balls, literally.
What happened?
I said you have a kid that takes balls, literally.
Oh yeah, and I have to barricade her out too. It's like I'm fucking in The Last of Us.
He's like my dad voice doesn't work, so I have to use the chair.
Problem is they get used to the dad voice. They're like, yeah, we'll try you on that one. All right, incoming Snyderverse pictures.
Oh dear Jesus!
This isn't a visual podcast. You realize that?
Hey, this
Universal
whole
side.
I'm sorry, recorded video wise, and Dan's also recording it in the background.
Yep, Universal side. Kalai, please go ahead with your PS2 game.
I just did.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's my turn.
Oh wow, who's fired now? Wow, wow! Look who screwed up now. Wow.
I'm sorry. Well, Kalai, do you have a second game you'd like to talk?
Would you?
Oh my God! Stop trying to pass it back to her. Like just pick a game.
Pac-Man World 2, Ninja Gaiden, and Shadow the Hedgehog.
There is no Ninja Gaiden on PS2.
You want to fucking bet?
Ninja Gaiden's on PS2.
You want to bet?
What Ninja Gaiden's on PS2?
Do it.
Ninja Gaiden?
He's like, let's get to the bet first.
What Ninja Gaiden's on PS2? Zeke, is there a Ninja Gaiden on PS2? You're a PS2.
He's deferring to the guy he just met.
So
hey, that street credit was major. He's already.
Dude, I played Ninja Gaiden on Xbox.
Gaiden.
I don't know.
Not Ninja Gaiden. What was it?
Oh, wait a minute. You want to? You said.
Yeah,
I thought it was Ninja Gaiden. It was a different. It was a ninja game though.
Tenshu?
It was probably Tenchi, man.
Tenchi Muyu?
Yu Yu Hakusho?
Oh shit, Yu Yu Hakusho. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's do a podcast on Yu Yu Hakusho.
Well, yeah, let's do it. I have a whole anecdote about explaining like Yu Yu Hakusho to my dad.
Please do that right now. It's a great one. Please do that.
Man,
what is this? This sounds like.
Wait, are we really doing this right now?
Yeah, I'll do it really fast. So my dad builds houses, so we were roofing a house, and I spent like 8 to 9 hours telling my dad about Yu Yu Hakusho. And I started out with like, okay, there's this kid, his name's Yusuke Urameshi, and he's like a detective, but he dies. And my dad's like, So I talked to him for 8 hours, and I get to the part where I'm like, yeah, so he's like half demon, and he's in this tournament again after being in like 30,000 tournaments, and then he does this thing, and my dad, like, I finish, and my dad goes, so he's a detective? And that was a really good bonding moment with my dad.
He's a detective.
There you go. Like propane and propane accessories.
Is that on your dad's tombstone?
It's like,
it's like on your dad's tombstone. Says he's a detective.
He's a detective. Yeah. Interesting. So wait, like, can we back up? This yo-yo hockey show, is that like a? Is that an anime?
Walkie-talkie.
Man, they got drip, man. If you got young audience members, their clothes are fire.
What the fuck,
bro? He said they got drip.
They do, man.
Bro.
Joe, I apologize. The game that I was looking for was Shinobi.
He's trying to sell fucking Yu Yu Hakusho to teens right now. He's like, they got drip.
Yeah, man.
Like he's trying to sell it to your sons.
He's like, bro, he's a detective and he's got drip.
Yeah. Man. Just pull up any character from Yu Yu Hakusho and be like, damn, I wish I looked that good.
I feel like it's either them or the characters from what's that other one? Fucking Blade something?
Blade Runner?
No, fucking what the fuck is
Blade,
the other
the vampire hunter?
Shohan Jump one where they fight in the fucking the fuck is it called? It's the one with all the stylish fucking like female looking dude characters.
Wait, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
JoJo?
Oh, that one's just fucking I just can't get into JoJo.
What?
It's all over the place.
That's bizarre.
It's very bizarre. And I don't know. Zeke, maybe you gotta sell me on that, because I don't know, man. I just can't get into JoJo.
Man.
I guess because one of my friends is just a big giant JoJo dick rider. Like he like dies for that show. And, like,
that's the problem.
And like he makes it so it's like he's like a Kingdom Hearts fan, so he just makes that shit unwatchable.
Is it the same guy Darrell knows?
Man,
there's only one apparently.
There's only one Kingdom Hearts fan.
That's the same fucking person.
You gotta watch Stardust Crusaders subbed just for old man Joestar to say "Holy shit" like that. That's why you gotta watch the show. He goes, "Damn, hey, holy shit," like that.
He's like Asian Red Fox.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I got a question.
Oh God.
Is that an anime?
Yeah.
I'm out.
What if they made like a Snyder Cut anime? Would you watch it?
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah,
actually, technically, Darrell has watched an anime.
Oh Jesus!
I told you,
Batman Ninja.
I said that a long time ago. I was like, "Hey, if that's
that like cel-shaded CGI though."
Everybody made fun of me
really bad.
Yeah, but no offense. So was part of God Eater as well.
Yeah, God Eater is bad too.
All right, so we have 32 minutes left in the show.
Why are you time limiting?
We're over by 36.
Why are you time limiting me?
Because when you record video, it actually gives you a.
It gives you 2 hours.
Oh, it tells you you're not.
We're not going to talk about Shadow of the Colossus.
So here we go. Whose turn is it? Is it my turn again?
Me,
Dan's turn. Dan. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Shadow of the Colossus.
It's a good game.
It's probably one of the greatest ever made. I would say.
I wouldn't argue with that. That's a good game.
Yeah.
Did you like the remake?
I didn't play it. I had the original, so I had no need to.
Dude, I played the remake, and it was freaking gorgeous. Like I was very, very impressed. Excuse me. I was. My kids and I played it too, and that's kind of a slow game for them. It's freaking Fortnite nerds, you know.
I got bored of it real quick.
Well, it's slow. It's a slow burn, but when you get to
why
the
don't you play it while you have a TikTok screen underneath it?
Jesus.
That's how the modern age plays. But yeah, that was a really good game. I quite enjoyed it. So, I played the PS2 version, but like briefly. So getting into it on the P4. That P4. I played on the P4. $15. It's good stuff. All right, Zeke, you gonna flex on us again, or what you got?
No, I'll just give you one or two. Bully is really good.
Yeah.
Finally, you mentioned a good game.
Yeah, but man, I love like Devil May Cry too. Like,
oh my gosh, yes.
Just the original and the third one are really good. I mean, I started with the second one. That was kind of weird, but
how'd you come back?
I don't know. I thought there was something good there, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to play the original, and it was a lot better. So, those two.
I love Devil May Cry. As a matter of fact, when Dan and I got together, which this I don't know how I'm going to release all this because this is so much fun, but there's an episode where Dan and I talk about Devil May Cry, and I give my story of playing Devil May Cry in church for a church play, and it was glorious. It was amazing. Yes, I quite enjoy that game. Joe, what you got?
Resident Evil Outbreak.
Ooh, yes.
My favorite Resident Evil game, probably. It's top 3. That game's absolutely fantastic. A little multiplayer Resident Evil game that was way ahead of its time, and if it came out now, would sell like gangbusters.
I don't understand why they don't do that.
Imagine if they just made it free to play. Like the game would, everybody would play it.
Could you imagine a Outbreak game right now, online, free to play game, where you could sell skins and characters and all those little things? You could literally put that same game out, Outbreak File 1 and 2 today, and then open up a Fortnite store and just print money. You take all my money.
I mean, they couldn't even make the other online game like viable, which is sad because like there's so much there in that game,
and it's good. Yeah,
that game's good.
So it's ridiculous how serviceable that game is.
Outbreak 1 and 2 were fantastic.
Yeah, they're so good.
Zombie fucking zebras and shit in the zoo. That fucking level was crazy. Or I like the first one where like, you know how many times I played that first mission where you get held up in the bar?
Oh yeah.
It's so good. Like,
yeah. That jump was awesome, man.
Fuck, man. It's like they don't make games as good as they did back then, though. That PS2, I think PS2 is probably the second best generation of video games. Only maybe third or second best. It's top 3 because I would say the only one that's really rival it are the Super Nintendo era, and I would say the NES era. And
I would completely agree with that.
And the NES era really rides a lot on nostalgia, but if you go back, there's a lot of really good NES games that were just like nobody played them, like Vice Project Doom and shit like that, like shit that got popular like way too late after when it got discovered later on. But I feel
Bible Adventures.
You know, Sunday Fun Day, baby. The most unplayable fucking NES game ever.
I have both of the Bible Adventures over there.
That's amazing.
Are they in blue cards or do you have them like the white card?
One of them is blue, which is like the Noah Bible Adventures one, and the other one is like Moses, the Exodus game. It was like a port from another game that they just made it about Moses killing Philistines or something.
So
did you part the Red Sea?
I have 2 kids.
I was trying to think of that joke classically.
I was hoping he'd go in there.
He went in there. He's got 2 kids.
I'm not going to, Zach. I don't want a third one.
He went in the Red Sea.
Snip, snip, clip, clip.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
No, you just do it standing up. Can't get pregnant.
Or nut down.
Darrell, you're the only person here that cannot give any of us advice about not having children.
Look, I figured it out.
You have more children?
He's like, if my wife stays at work, we can't.
He's thinking of an insult that has, from all of human history, been like the greatest blessing you could bestow upon a man in society. He has so much children.
He's like, he's got that Heath Slater shirt. I got kids.
Yeah, that's right, dude. I got kids. Dude, that was such a good gimmick. That was such a good gimmick.
It's your life.
I got kids.
Like, you should sue him for copyright infringement.
It's like insulting him for having too many goats and land.
That's right.
No, he has more kids than he has hair on his head.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, see,
So do
it's
you.
true. No,
You have more kids than Darrell has hair on his head.
Yeah,
oh, that's fair.
Get it? one and what do you call them when they're on their way?
One and a half.
One in the oven.
One in the oven. Yeah. So check it out, right? I used to work with this loan officer, and he has 5 kids, and we were doing our sales meeting, and I brought him in. And we were just kind of like going over strategies. And he goes, man, I tell you what I do. I meet with these realtors. I go to these realtor get-togethers. And he's like, hey, man, you got to give me a deal. I got 5 kids to feed. And he's like, I always make a joke about how, like, you know, I got 5 kids. I got 5 kids. I got kids. And I'm thinking Heath Slater, but I'm not ready to break the wrestling joke out on this guy because I just don't think it's going to land. And he's like, I got 5 kids to feed. I got 5 kids. And so, no joke, he was telling me one day, he goes, yes, such and such realtor called me and said, yeah, this one's for your 3rd kid. Just randomly getting deals for kids or whatever. I'm like, man, that works. That gimmick was over.
You're like, guilt works. All those women in my life were right.
Look at all these kids I got. Jeez.
Remember that scene in Batman Begins where the falafel guy's like, I got kids to feed. And the cop's like, they don't like falafel.
You also selling falafels like in a shitty Batman movie.
What? They don't like falafel?
Where is he?
And then Batman. Oh, I never thought of that.
How much for the falafel,
bro?
A is for Alfred. A is for Alfred.
Let's lose some more followers. That's the point of this podcast now. Zeke, help us get as little followers for Darrell as possible.
Do you have tahiki sauce?
And we did.
All right.
A lot. In an order that would surprise you. Ass mouth veg. I broke Darrell. If I touch this button, this one, this one right here. Come on, give it to me. You know I'm good at it. I stabbed you. Yeah, I stabbed you first.
Hey, bad news, Darrell. The Rian Johnson Star Wars trilogy gets canceled again.
You got re-canceled?
Yeah, he gets canceled like every week by Disney.
All right.
Wait, you forgot. I fight crime in a rubber suit. Really seals in the flavor.
Jesus. Don't open that door.
Oh God, that's good stuff. All right, where are we at now? Whose turn?
Zeke. I just went.
Is it my turn? You just went. That's right. You said Outbreak.
I don't know.
Yeah, go there.
All right.
Yeah.
Next one up on my list of favorite PlayStation 2 games. Silent Hill 3.
I was waiting on it.
Silent Hill 3. So good. Josh and I got together, 2 years ago, and we just kind of rated the first Resident Evil versus first Silent Hill, second Resident Evil, second Silent Hill, third against each other. And we're just going back through and refreshing on that third game. It just brought on so much nostalgia. That game is so incredibly good. 6-ish months ago, maybe or so, my son and I started it together. So we've got a save where we're doing the HD remake on PS3, playing through Silent Hill 3.
Why would you play that?
Because it's awesome.
Those remakes are god awful though. So
and they patched them. They were bad at first, but they patched them.
They broken. Even Zeke's like, they didn't patch that shit.
They didn't fix them. No.
Okay.
That's fine that you like them.
They slapped some Alabama Chrome on that shit.
So
they fixed nothing.
The lighting engine and all that stuff makes it look less good as the original. But like the game's not broken, you know. Like when that game first came out, the pre-patch version, you walk above the ground. Like it's not even, you're not even connected to the ground.
You like Jesus or something.
That's right. Walking on water. But yeah, Silent Hill 3 HD remake. Let's go, baby. All right, Kalai, let's do one more round. We got 22 minutes. I think we might be able to make it through.
Katamari Damacy.
Calamari.
Okay. Making a giant
Damacy.
ball.
I like balls. What can I say?
And tentacles.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this.
Elaborate, please. Hey, Carmen, present them.
Yeah.
Lord help us. Would you anything else, Kalai? Is that just you like balls?
Yeah, no, I pretty much I played
Boston Polo.
Like, suck on my salty chocolate balls. Suck them on, suck them on, suck them.
I pretty much bought a PlayStation 2 to play Final Fantasy because I was a huge Final Fantasy fan, and a lot of the times because Final Fantasy had certain areas you could save into, so I used to literally leave my PlayStation on, and Jim would be like, "I really want to play the PlayStation." I'm like, "No, you can't. I'm in the middle of a game, and I'm not near a save point."
That's right. That's right.
You gotta buy a memory card, you cheap ass.
Hey, speaking of, I dug out my old memory cards yesterday for the whole PlayStation 2.
I don't know why that was funny, man.
So, all right. Zach.
Zach. It really seals in the flavor.
Tell me your game, Zach.
Thank me for my service, Dan.
Go buy some broken.
Swear to me.
So Star Wars Force Unleashed was a game that I put a lot of hours into when it first came out.
That's a good one.
A lot of hours into that game. A lot of bags, a lot of 50-cent bags of sunflower seeds and empty water bottles.
Bro.
Sorry you played the PS2 version.
It worked.
Joe, get the fuck out. I don't even got insult anymore. Get the fuck out.
Sorry,
I swear to you know what?
You played the less inferior PS2 version.
Kalai, I need you to text his wife to break the door down and
get your man.
Let the demon in the room to wreak havoc.
She comes in with the axe.
She's got the axe through the door, and then
here's Johnny.
Instead of putting her face in there, she holds the John Cena figure. Here's Johnny.
Darrell, do you still have that puppet with you?
God. I don't have it down here. No. That was so funny. God dog it, man. That was awesome. I just need to release that tomorrow, and then this can come out on Monday, and then everyone can see the puppet. That puppet's gold. That puppet's gold. All right, so Dan, you're up.
I'm gonna name two that were kind of obscure. One was Draken, not Drakengard. It was Draken, and you play as this chick in like bikini armor, and you ride a dragon, and it was fantastic. It was janky as all get out. It barely worked, but I loved it so much, and I got like 85% through it, and like the disc like just died or something, like corrupted itself or something. It wouldn't work. That's how bad it was, and I couldn't find a replacement for it. But they made two of those, and they were awesome. And Rule of Rose, and the only reason I say that's because that game's super expensive, and I loved it because it was like that kind of weird Silent Hill Japanese horror. The controls were god awful, especially the combat. You played as like this weak little like schoolgirl that couldn't swing a baseball bat to save her life. It was kind of like a Shelly in The Shining, like holding the bat way up here. Trying to swing it. That's how the combat felt, but I loved that game because it was so creepy. It was I don't know, it was super super Japanese.
Heck yeah, dude. There were so many of those games. And there's like I'm part of these like survival horror, fan groups or whatever, and like there's dudes in there with 5 and 6 copies of that game. Straight flexing. It's ridiculous.
That's a flex.
Really coming to the man that's got 10 copies of the Snyder.
Yeah, but the Snyder Cut doesn't cost $300 and $400 a pop.
That's true.
Like these
how many copies of Sahara do you have, Zeke?
5, 6.
Nice.
5, yeah.
Isn't that one like super expensive?
No, the movie. The
Matthew McConaughey movie? Is that like a joke? You just collect Matthew McConaughey's Sahara copies?
Okay, wait a second. There is a game. Siberia? Is that the one that's super expensive?
That game sucks.
Yeah.
like badly. It's like Professor Layton if it sucked. It's like, and it was snowing constantly. Do you remember that PS2 game? The Final Fight one, but it was like a beat 'em up. It was like
Streets of Fury.
No, not that one. It was like a final fight, like Beatdown or whatever, Beatdown City or whatever.
Yes.
That game was fucking awesome.
Yes.
That game's really good. Disgaea, the first Disgaea game,
yes,
is an absolute masterpiece. And if anybody wants to play a really awesome RPG, I would say play Rogue Galaxy, because Rogue Galaxy was one of the last swan songs of the PS2 and a fucking banger of a game. You can actually play it on PS4. It's on PlayStation Premium. And then what else could I name? Fuck, there's a lot. Gran Turismo 4. That game stole like half my life on that life cycle of console. Because that game was just fucking sweet. I played hundreds and hundreds of hours, just maxing out cars and money and just doing the same 24-hour track with my friends, just passing the controller. Just any edition of Madden. Like, we would just sit there and play season after season. The PS2 is just like, it's just endless fun, man. There's a lot of shit to play on there.
Yep.
Seriously.
Yeah, like, it was like a real cornucopia of
ooh, look at that word.
Gaming.
Yeah.
Every time I hear that word, I hear Arnold Schwarzenegger saying it.
One of the best remaster collections ever created that has perfect ports of Mega Man is on there. The Mega Man Anniversary Collection. The PS2 one is an absolute treasure, man. That game is perfect. Everything works dead perfect on that. Like, everything was ported over properly. It's not like the digital versions that we just got dropped on 4 and Switch and all those. Those have like lag in the input, so like they don't play properly. But yeah, there's a lot. Like, Zeke said Maximo Gods to Glory is the game's fucking. The first one, it's fucking tight, and the second one, honestly, second one's good. Fuck else. Hunter Reckoning. I know Darrell mentioned that.
Oh yeah.
Hunter Reckoning Wayward was really good. Like, really good. Fuck, there's so many games. Mortal Kombat Deception. Great game.
Dude, yes. Need for Speed Underground.
Is that the Steelbook copy?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's up on my shelf. On the top
shelf.
Dude,
dude, chess combat is how I want chess to be.
Yeah.
Like, God, that's why I went and got this. That is
remember the shitty racing game in
yes. In Armageddon?
Armageddon.
Yeah, I got that out too.
Armageddon. Oh, here's another gem. Shaolin Monks.
Yes.
Shaolin Monks is another gem. Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks.
Armageddon was good too.
Armageddon was just really rushed.
It had a really good roster though.
Yeah, but they were all like poorly designed sprites because they just threw everybody in there. So like, so poorly rendered. Even Ed Boon talks about that. He's like, that's just probably the shittiest Mortal Kombat we made next to 4. And he's like, the only reason 4 is shitty is because of the time we made it. He's like, if we could remake that game now, he's like, I would love to. He even said it. He's like, I want to remake the 4th game because I love those characters, and they got shit all over.
Yeah.
All right. So since we're just naming games out, I'm gonna jump in.
Oh, you guys, Budokai.
I've mentioned this one on the show many times before, but PsyOps. Third person shooter, telekinesis powers. You can freaking lift dudes up with one hand and shoot them with the other. So good. Silent Hill 4: The Room. Yeah. What a weird game. What a weird one.
Killzone.
Have you guys played the playable trailer in VR? Because I got to do that at Zeke's house and almost barfed.
For Silent Hill 4?
Whatever it was. Whatever game that was that had the playable
PT,
trailer.
The Silent Hills? Yeah, that is a wild one. That's a whole bag of worms right there. So Obscure, The Aftermath. Did you guys ever play that game?
Yes.
It's so good. So good. It's bad good. Like, that game was Resident Evil clone. So it was like, this is cool, but you're a bunch of freaking kids in a high school. And it was tankish controls, lots of backtracking. Freaking you guys ever play Snowblind?
No.
Oh, like Snow Blindness and Cats?
No, Snowblind.
I feel like Ricky Bobby.
Ain't first your last.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up who made it. That was a good
Big
one.
Red, then fuck you.
Scarface. Did you guys play Scarface?
Yes. World is yours or whatever.
That's right. What about the Godfather games?
That game was a piece of shit, but like it was like I was riding off that GTA 3 high, so I was like, I'll play this. I'll play anything that's a sandbox fucking GTA clone.
Yeah. So
Simpsons Hit and Run.
Yeah.
That game needs a remaster.
I did that one on Dreamcast, not PS2.
That was on Dreamcast?
I think it was, unless I'm thinking of Crazy Taxi, because it's like.
Oh, you mean Simpsons Road Rage?
That's
the
it.
Crazy Taxi clone? Yeah. That was good.
So it was Project Snowblind. That's what it was called. And it was a Crystal Dynamics game published by Eidos Montreal. So that was a good one. First person shooter. Crystal D made a first person shooter. So I remember it being. Say what?
Darrell, I forgot to mention a game that you probably should have mentioned because I've only played it like twice. Def Jam Fight for New York.
So
how did we forget that?
So I was going to bring up Vendetta, but yes, those are amazing games. I was playing. So I mentioned yesterday I pulled out my memory card. So I was playing Def Jam Vendetta, and it's so freaking good.
Oh.
So that
needs a remaster too, or a new game.
Dude, those freaking Def Jam games were so much fun.
Shout out to EA Big because they made amazing games like NFL Street. Awesome game. Fucking NBA Street 2. NBA Street 2. Still fantastic. Probably still the best NBA game to date is NBA Street 2. That game.
There's NBA Jam on the Super Nintendo.
Well, there's all NBA Jam
edition
everywhere.
You need the TE edition, the tournament edition.
Which one's got Hillary Clinton or is it Bill Clinton on there?
TE edition, I think, is the one that has them.
The BJ edition.
That is hot.
Boom shakalaka.
She's on fire.
Oh my gosh.
From downtown.
Did you guys ever play Area 51 on PS2?
Oh my god, that
She's
game
like,
was
it's a blowjob.
horrible. That game was so bad.
Dan, when we were talking the other day, did I make it to showing off controllers?
No, but go for it.
All right, there's two things I want to show you. Right.
It's a chainsaw. What?
Lord help us all.
I'm gonna mute my mic because this can make a lot of noise.
He comes in with the chair.
Man.
My God, this man has controllers.
So back in the day, and I've talked about this before, but I have for show and tell. Back in the day, there was tons of Mad Catz controllers. You know, everybody hated the freaking Mad Catz controllers, right? But Logitech made a wireless PS2 controller.
I have that.
It is one of the most ergonomic, amazing feeling controllers of all time.
Yes, it is. That shit was.
And I have two of these bad boys.
That shit was $100 when it came out.
Dude, I love it.
$100?
Yes.
Yeah, dude. I had to convince my parents. I was like, I think I did enough chores this week, Mom. Can I get a $100 controller? She was like, "Are you fucking serious?"
Did she beat you?
She's
are you on drugs?
She's like, "Listen, like that's a lot of dishes." And
she's like, "I don't even really love you." Like,
you're not even mine.
She's like, "You're just some kid on the street right now I just met."
It's like, you know what? You're adopted. It's visual.
If I had to buy you a $200 controller, you are.
Yeah, dude. Oh my gosh, this controller feels so freaking good.
My dad would have beat me just for asking.
Yeah. So if you guys, especially you two, Dan, especially since you're back into the PS2, if you get the opportunity, pick this thing up.
All right.
This thing is sweet. And then so recently,
his mom.
Yeah, because she did it. She'll ask you if you're crazy, but then she'll do it.
I mean,
so then
hard, she's dead.
Somebody's got a Necronomicon, right?
Yeah, I got one.
There you go.
It's over there.
The DVD case. He's like, it's a fucking DVD case.
Oh, dang.
Shit, we're summoning people on the podcast?
Good Ash. Bad Ash. I'm good Ash.
Pillow.
Holy shit.
He really does.
Is that a pillow?
Yeah.
That's dope.
He's here. Yeah.
Did you see the trailer? Did you see the trailer for the new movie?
Yes, I did. It looks really good.
It looks fucking insane. When I went to when I went to go see Scream 6, that was the first trailer. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. I'm actually super excited.
Dude.
Heck yeah. All right. So the other day I went to Goodwill. Okay. And I was out scoping for the wares. And I found a wired version of the same Logitech PS2 controller.
Oh, shit.
I didn't know this existed. I didn't even think to look it up. I put little thumbstick grips on there just because.
You put condoms on your controllers?
I do. But yes, I can't believe it. So I have a wired version, and then I have. By the way, my PS2's on because I'm fitting to play that junk. And then it's so good, dude, so good. So if you guys are and anyone listening, if you're actual players of the PlayStation 2 and you want a real controller that feels comparable to what's out there today, these Logitech controllers are dope. All right. Anybody got anything else they want to share?
Somebody should put the Legend of Zelda market theme behind Zach when he dances. Like,
oh, single.
I just got hyped up because I may or may not have downloaded some of the games I own and loaded my emulator on my computer.
Emulation,
dude. No breathing. So my brother is literally while we're talking, he's sitting here texting me pictures of him emulating games on his PC. Like he literally just said the PS2, GameCube, Xbox lists are so good. I just need more storage. And he's like, just hit the Silent Hill Shattered Memories and Obscure for the Wii. But this Joker is sitting here. He downloaded the Retro Arch off Steam. You can't really see it. But he's over there downloading and emulating it. So as we're talking about these old games, he's over here freaking downloading stuff, little douche.
I mean, Need for Speed 2...
Underground
SmackDown versus Raw 2008. I did. No one acknowledged my presence. It's something I'm used to at this point.
I'm glad you're used to it, though.
Hey, well, guess what, boys? It's that time.
It is that time.
It is that time.
Don't forget, you have your choice of 2 towers and a pentagon.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
You're welcome for my service.
I support the troops.
Which ones?
So, like, did you make your wife say that every time you finish? You're like, thank you for your service.
Dang, did you make her salute? Put her hand over her heart. Pledge allegiance to the flag.
No, it was more pledging allegiance to the flagpole.
Wow.
Is that full mast or half mast?
Oh, dang.
Either or. Depends on if I had any whiskey or not.
Zeke's like, I can help you with that.
Yeah.
I don't need help. There's a shelf full of it right there.
Oh, God almighty. This was good. I needed this, guys. This was a lot of fun. All right. This has been the Loo Bros Podcast. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Kalai. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Zeke.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for coming on, talking shop. I'm actually going to hit the delete button as soon as we're done, and I'm only keeping the Snyder Cut conversation.
Good.
Darrell's like, shit, this week I have to edit a video podcast. Fuck.
No, dude, I've been doing video every week now. That's like my shtick. I got to get better at it.
That's a stink.
I'm actually not editing anything out.
Uh-oh.
I'm leaving all this stuff, so we're all canceled.
It's a good thing we've already been demonetized.
It's gonna happen anyway. It's gonna happen anyway.
Monetize shit if there's no viewers.
That's what he's getting at. Watch, this will be the best episode we ever do, and it's the one that couldn't be monetized because of all the awful things that were said.
YouTube immediately takes it down for copyright claims for everything.
The thing that gets us fucking taken down is the Evil Dead pillow.
It's the Necronomicon. They're like, you know what?
Necronomicon.
All the awful things you said, those were fine, but that pillow, that's it. We're out of here.
The fucking studio sends us a cease and desist. They're like, you can't promote our movie without our saying.
That's right. That's awesome. All right. So thank you guys for coming on here. Be sure to check out the Godfo universe. Be sure to check out the Bearded Nerds YouTube channel. He's been reacting to things. I think you should do reactions to like feminine hygiene product commercials.
The fuck?
Like you should just react to them.
As they're in use.
You just call it Party in the video series can just be called Party in the Red Sea.
There you go. See? I was just like, ugh, just stop, guys.
No, actually, there's a whole thing on YouTube, on TikTok, where women like give like feminine products to their boyfriends, and the boyfriends are like, I don't like, doesn't understand how to use it. They have to explain it. So it's really weird.
Are their boyfriends stupid?
When did they stop teaching health and sex ed in school?
Is it true? If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yes.
I don't know, Joe. Is it true?
Damn.
I'm gonna have a kid, so
Yep, but that doesn't mean you've used it for how many years now?
What's that saying, guys? A broken clock is right twice a day. You'll eventually figure it out.
And Darrell's like, at the end of the episode, and this episode was brought to you by Blue Chew. I use it, and you'll love it too.
You can also check out Zeke's page, Zekomancer on YouTube.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put links and all that stuff in the description. Yeah, check it out. Check out Resident Darrell. Check out Kalai. You got anything going on, or are you just striving?
We are trying to absolutely record the Driftcast. Last week, we were absolutely trying to do it. We were waiting to hear back from Joe. We kept asking Joe when we could record. He never answered.
I gave you an answer, and no one answered me back.
You answered in our Facebook chat.
Yeah,
we've got 30 seconds.
I'm used to it, really.
Peace, love, and chicken grease.
Rate and subscribe.
But we're coming back. The Driftcast is coming back. We got a new member.
Have your pet spayed and neutered.
X gonna give it to you.
Or they're not, because they don't make any games.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
And don't forget, we really seal in the flavor.
On the front line, I can see the enemy. I feel the battle of ages raging inside of me. We will one day answer for the things we've done, but I refuse to run, cause only cowards run. On the front line, I can see the enemy. I feel the battle of ages raging inside of me. We will one day answer for the things we've done, but I refuse to run, cause only cowards run. I'm coming down with a sound like you ain't never heard. I'll do whatever it takes to get the message heard. You can try to run away, but you can never hide. There ain't a wrong that you were made that can't be changed right. Sink or swim, fight or run, this is your choice. I use this music as a weapon, this is my voice. Words of hope to the hopeless, and this is what I do. It breaks my heart when I see what this world has come to. Going through so many things, yet I'm still here. Face the battle head on, showing no fear. Mind clear, the eyes serve a God that brings hope and loves you and sees all of these things you go through. On the front line, I can see the enemy. I feel the battle of ages raging inside of me. We will one day answer for the things we've done, but I refuse to run, cause only cowards run. On the front line, I can see the enemy. I feel the battle of ages raging inside of me. We will one day answer for the things we've done, but I refuse to run, cause only cowards run. First two, just listen to what I'm bringing you. About to step on some toes with what I'm letting loose. I'm telling you life is hard, you feel like falling apart, and all you see is the scars of these things pass. You may be close to the edge, just standing out on the ledge, ready to jump. Stop, listen, please step back. Only the cowards will run when things get tough. Only the cowards will run when things get rough. Hearts break, tears fall, God stays the same. He's the only one that can take away the pain. Insane that he can love us even through our flaws. We don't deserve a single thing, but he gave it all. On the front line, I can see the enemy. I feel the battle of ages raging inside of me. We will one day answer for the things we've done, but I refuse to run, cause only cowards run. On the front line, I can see the enemy. I feel the battle of ages raging inside of me. We will one day answer for the things we've done, but I refuse to run, cause only cowards run.
Yeah, you can try and run away. You can try and run away. But only cowards run away. Only cowards run away. You can try and run away, but only cowards run away.
On the front line, I can see the enemy. I feel the battle of ages raging inside of me. We will one day answer for the things we've done, but I refuse to run, cause only cowards run. On the front line, I can see the enemy. I feel the battle of ages raging inside of me. We will one day answer for the things we've done, but I refuse to run, cause only cowards run.
You can try and run away. You can try and run away. Only cowards